right, so there we go. We're now up and running. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another evening with us here at Ages Past. I am your DM, AJ, and I have with me four stupendous players that will be joining in on the adventure tonight. Let's go ahead and give a round of introductions, starting with ladies first.
My name is Kayla. I'm going to be playing Valinder. She's the half-elf, half-tiefling, Pact of the Undying Warlock, Pact of the Chain. I always say Pact of the Undying, that's not it. It's Undying Warlock, Pact of the Chain. She's got a little familiar, and his name is Winnie, and he's the greatest.
Perfect. And then, of course, our dragon, half-dragon.
There we go. Hi, my name's Scott, and I'll be playing Varkesh Stormcaller, the Forged Cleric Half-Dragon.
Excellent. And our bird.
Hey, I'm Cody, and I'm playing Rook, the half-Kenku, half-Tiefling Inquisitive Rogue, who knows that Winnie is clearly the big bad, and it's just a matter of time.
We've come back to that again.
It's important. I need to remind everybody, so when it happens, I can tell you all that I fucking called it and throw it in your face.
And last but not least, of course...
Hey everyone, my name is Connor, and I am playing Smoky Cloud, the half Tabaxi, half Fire Ganassi Abjuration Wizard.
Excellent, and as you can all tell, we are playing with a new homebrew rule where we have half-breeds mixing in two different races to combine and make interesting new choices for the players. Now, we operate every Sunday at 6:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and the more time you spend with us, you are accumulating total tabletop points. These can be used to influence the game by purchasing inspiration or other future items to help boost the player's successful chances in overcoming those deadly saving throws or those critical attack throws or ability checks. Now, of course, also you can spend these on our other channels that operate here on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Monday is at 6 with Dungeon of the Mad Mage with our DM Chubby Kobold, and Tuesdays and Wednesdays with Sean, as you have Hoda, seasons 1 and 2 respectively, at 6:30 p.m. And of course, the more time you spend, it's a win-win for us all, so I hope you do stick around and enjoy all that we have to offer, as well as the new stuff that could be coming its way soon. But other than that, and the promo stuff pushed away, let's go into the recap for last week. So... you all were at the Castle Keep, as you had the start begin with a unique individual introducing themselves to you at your home, as a silver dragon came and appeared, introducing himself as Badoom, the Brilliant. And of course, he had a few things to say and some insight to give and a few nicknames to dish out to all the party members. Now, as you could tell, he was a friendly chap and was able to introduce you with a few, pieces of history that he was able to share, along with Grandpappy verifying a few of those facts as well, as he toured the castle and was quite impressed with your potential to revive its life here on the outskirts. You were all basically given a friend to call upon sometime later should you need it, as he is currently somewhere in the north nearby, as you happen to reside in his territory. After he had said his goodbyes and you all had found yourselves a little bit I don't know if you could say concerned or hopeful, one of the two, you did find that you were going to plan for the next day to make your way back to the fort that had been made by Varkesh's father in the south to try and... you're not quite sure what his plans were. You know a little bit, but not enough. As you made your way down there on the next day, using your spell to recall, you made your way into the fort once more, finding a small tube, a chimney-like entrance that was at the top of one of the cliff sides. As you sent your familiar down, looking around the passageways, you found that they were blocked. Eventually, you decided that the best course of action was to take a guess as to Varkesh's best recollection as to where to teleport down with Dimension Door. Each of you holding on to an ally, you appeared in what appeared to be a sorcerer's chambers, with runes carved on the ground in magical circles and tables and odd containers of glass and liquid. As you also were disguised as bugbears, luckily, when a familiar stone-skinned individual came in, combat ensued, as he did not like the idea of you prying into his personal belongings. Luckily, you were able to slay him once, but unfortunately, he had a clone stored in one of the vats nearby. As he re-emerged, you also again faced him, taking him down nearly to death again, but as he tried to retreat, Smokey, in a last-ditch effort, charmed the fellow and allowed him to be friendly to your party, giving you some insight as to what might be lurking ahead for you in the hallways ahead. Now, you have finished off the Minotaur and the troll, but you know they were kind of weird mixes and chimera-like monsters that they were making. But as you have gathered yourselves up, made your way down the halls with this slightly naked individual in front of you, guiding you along the way, that is where we begin. So, with you four stuck in the dark chambers, do you wish to follow your now new ally down the passageways?
I would like to hold my action constantly, and I'm going to fire an Eldritch Blast at him if he does anything sketchy.
All right, every 6 seconds you just see Valindra is constantly...
I'm walking behind him so he doesn't see me, but like
Sure.
I'm ready in case he's up to some shit.
Sure. This is a verbal to cast, or is this just somatic material? What's the requirements for the spell?
Pretty sure it's verbal.
Yeah, but I can whisper.
That's the key.
I can whisper. Oh, I'm not even looking in the right tab. Look.
Eldritch Blast has a verbal and somatic component.
Yep.
All right, so you're constantly waving your hands, but you're also subtly whispering. Make a stealth check for me to try and not be too obvious that you're keeping up this attack. 14. All right. So, doing your best to stay silent in the back and casting this...
I'm also like 20 feet behind him.
Okay. So,
There's distance.
as you all convene and take a marching order, who would like to be directly behind and who would like to be after that?
I'll follow up in the far back, just in case.
Okay. So, Valindra, you'll be behind Varkesh or in front of Varkesh then?
I'll be. God, sorry, guys.
It's okay.
attack.
The cat. I'll be...
I'll.
This is Winnie.
Yeah, this is Winnie. I'll be behind Varkesh.
Okay. So, who's going right behind your new friend?
Well,
I think it's best if we leave the Charmer right behind him.
Yeah.
All right.
Just because he's already on edge with the rest of us, and I'll be right behind him. Like
Okay.
5 feet behind Smokey. Also ready to shoot if he does anything real fucking sketchy, but like...
Smokey's seeing this like, guys, it's under control unless you hurt him.
Nope, paranoia.
Okay. With you all ready to take your steps forward, he leads you down as you follow behind. The curve of the passage is a little familiar to you as you begin to return to the halls that you ran through when the dwarves were calling out for aid as they led you to the storeroom. As he continues down that way, the door is shut and he is going to open it up into the room that was the storage room you recognize where the chests were kept in. So, as he brings you there, and he opens the door, Smokey, you'll be seeing this first since you're the one who's directly behind. Inside the room, some of the chests are completely gone, as you know that the dwarves had taken them. However, for the rest of the party, they wouldn't be aware that there are 2 kobolds in the corner. They seem to be preoccupied with something else. Their backs are turned to you, as they look to be shaking their hands up in the air, and you hear a small tick-tick-tick noise, as they seem to be playing a game.
ooh.
I will message everyone. Well, Chinese would need to message. Yeah, he's being cautious. He'll say, kobolds up ahead, 2 of them.
Wait, do we kill them?
Wait. I would like to perceive what they're playing,
Okay, if you enter the room,
which we all will, I suppose.
I mean, Smokey's waiting to see what their reaction is to Big Stony.
at the moment they don't recognize you coming in, the door doesn't squeak too loudly, but eventually as you all step in, and each one of you basically makes enough noise that they would be aware of you, they would turn to look and see on the, as the party enters, all still bugbears. Those of you who are looking at them, you can make perception checks.
Oh, shit.
Nice.
Wow.
Oh, alright.
25.
Yay!
Okay,
But
Varkesh.
hey, we did quite well.
Oh, everyone did really well. All right, except for Smokey. Smokey, they're just fiddling with something you don't know. Rook, Varkesh, and Valindra, especially Varkesh, you see that they're playing with what appears to be some black dice, and it looks to be some kind of a paired game similar to maybe like craps or something like that. However, you notice it instantly as you recognize your craftsmanship without a doubt. You can see what appears to be a pair of adamantine dice that have been painted with a small numbering system around them as they're rolling them around.
That's cute.
Eventually, Rook will pick this up as well, and Valindra, after staring a bit, would eventually see that that's the case.
I'm next to Varkesh, right?
Yes, you are.
I'm gonna be like, could you go like, I don't know, play boss?
Oh, yeah, I
they shouldn't be playing games at work and confiscate their toys?
Yeah, I could give it a shot.
And I'll also
Ready?
speak up in an attempt to help him with this. Speaking in Draconic, playing on the job, I see. Is this really the time?
Varkesh, you saying anything as well?
I'll slowly lumber over and I'll squat down next to them and I'll be like, nice dice, chaps. I want them. I'm not going to take them. How would you like some money for them?
Okay,
God.
this is weird. Make an intimidation
In
check for
Draconic.
Rook and a persuasion check for Varkesh.
Good cop, bad cop, or bugbear.
Yeah. but-
Whichever it is.
Oh, well.
Relation.
Oh,
Shit.
Sorry, what did you want
Natural
me?
20 for
Persuasion,
Rook.
was it?
Yeah, persuasion for you, yes.
Persuasion.
Come on.
My
You
God, I
won.
can't see. 10.
Okay, 10. Alright. You get the sense that as you approach them, initially the friendly bugbear is just this nice little smiling face, but they look behind you, and the expression and the dominance of the other bugbear is just enough to make them all just freeze as their eyes get really wide. And you could imagine this would be a point when a trickle of sweat might come down the side of their brow. As they are a little bit paralyzed with fear and looking at you, they just kind of smile and go, "Take it for free, here!" And they provide you with 2 of the adamantine dice that you had crafted for Smokey.
yay!
Do you have the other ones by chance?
No.
There should be more.
No,
more
no.
set.
Yeah, more. We don't have. No, yeah, friends back there have. Friends have.
If you can bring the dice, I will pay you gold for shiny dice. And you can go out at night on the town.
Okay. Okay.
Kobold
We'll ask.
patrol.
We'll ask. And you see them go
Quickly.
up towards the door. Yeah, as you say quickly, they were going to scurry, and they're going to open it, leaving it wide open for you to go and follow them as they make their way out past to the other side.
Well, I'm not going to follow them per se. I'll go towards the door and kind of stand in the door frame, not kind of wanting to deviate too much from the group.
Okay.
Stand there all door blockage, waiting for them to arrive back.
All right. You can see that the sorcerer behind, well, wizard actually technically behind you, kind of tries to go through. Excuse me. If you're blocking this door,
Oh, bless you.
The stone guy?
he's going to move past
Oh.
you if he can.
I will just then shuffle to the side if that's the door we're all trying to go through.
Okay.
Yeah, this is where the dragon is.
Inside, he's basically still guiding you as you made a slight little detour to the kobolds in the corner, but you are making your way into a very familiar furnace room. In here, you can see the remains of we got inspiration for Smokey
And for Rook, too.
and for Rook.
It didn't go through for
For
Chubby
Chubby.
for some reason. But
How bizarre. Well, there you go. Both of them inspiration for you.
I'll take it.
Now,
Thanks, Chubby. Appreciate
as
it.
you made your way inside the furnace, you can see the very familiar setting. However, the fires are cold. There doesn't seem to be much activity, and the corpse that was once... Oh, there's the chubby one. And the corpse of the bugbear that might have been in the corner that Varkesh had killed has been removed. The stains are still there, and there's
Wait,
a
I killed
large... You did.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
And there is a larger stain that is carried from the northern door all the way down across the room to the side into a corner onto the right. There you can see a door slightly left ajar as the kobolds had just rushed through it. And that door is where he seems to be walking to.
Does he still seem charmed?
Yes, he does still seem to be on your side at the moment.
Where'd he go? There he is. Fucking columns.
Dynamic lighting, man, ain't it great? Like, it's really cool, but also kind of inconvenient in rooms like this.
No problem.
Alright. And Smokey at this point will say, and just to clarify, we don't want to meet anyone else. We just want to work with you.
You're our number one guy.
There might be others currently working on the dragon right now.
Can you go ahead and take a peek? And if there are people, can you... Well, if you think you can get them to leave, that's great. If not, come back and tell us.
All right. He moves forward in his naked state.
Yeah.
Whispering fierce to Smokey. Smokey, he has no clothes.
Wait.
He stops and looks back at you.
Maybe one of us should look. Here, come on back with us.
All right.
Rook,
You
go
seem a
ahead
little uncertain. Are you all right?
yeah, it's fine. It's just my nature.
Alright, so I will stealth up and peek through the door this time.
Make a stealth check.
You got it. Where is that button? There it is. So that's
Nope,
19.
not that one.
That's the wrong fucking button. Never mind. You're right. Same modifier though, so good enough. It's 19 either way.
Well, yeah, in terms of your inability to roll below, as you make your way inside this chamber, you can see what appears to be a messy den, a horrible place that seems to be strewn with blood and visceral and other nasty little remains that have been stained across the walls and the floor. You can see body parts, things that you might believe once resembled those creatures that assaulted the party earlier. As you take a look around, you could assume that perhaps this might have been where they were kept, a holding cell of sorts for them. But as you make your way down, you can see an archway and a door to the south, and that seems to be where you can hear sound and see light coming through the edge of the doorframe.
Okay. I'll step back over here. Well, the next chamber looks rather clear. There is more sound coming to the south, though. I'm going to have a look in there, and I'll be right back with you.
Alright, as you all wait patiently for Rook, when you reach there, you can hear the small sounds of what appear to be kobolds speaking in Draconic. Some of them are heaving and hoeing and complaining. Others you can hear are the sounds of, come on, just give it to me, come on, please, give it. You guess that might be the kobolds maybe asking for something. But then you also hear a very interesting voice, one that you recognize as she goes, back to work! Do not dally!
Good. Alright, so going back up here. It would seem your hag compatriot is in there.
The vile thing, yes. Seems she's in charge of it.
She is quite disgusting. I've met her before. Tell me, what is she even doing here?
She must be supervising the kobolds.
What is her, her specialty? Why is she part of the group?
Her specialty is taking magic from items and infusing them into creatures.
Oh. Well, that is quite an impressive gift for such a horrid creature.
She studied the Etcher's task of doing the same with inanimate objects. She has applied it to flesh.
I see. And is through that room also where we might find the remains of the dragon, then?
They should be cutting up the remaining of its flesh to be forged into the creatures, yes.
I see, thank you.
So he's saying that they're cutting up the dragon in the room with the hag?
Correct.
Yep.
Okay. Is it just the one door in?
Yes. There's one to the south, but we cannot go through there.
What's through that door?
It's the other way through, but we cannot enter from that side. One must go through the other end.
Good. I can block this door then.
But you can still leave the south.
You can.
Where does that lead to?
The quenching room.
The quenching room?
Okay. And
Okay.
as far as the big blue dragon, the living one, where does he like to hang out in here?
He doesn't.
Oh, he doesn't?
He comes in when he pleases, but he doesn't live here.
Okay, so he doesn't have like a den or anything like that?
He has a room he stays in.
Okay.
Interesting.
Where is that room?
He points back the way that you were coming.
Okay, cool.
Is there anything, I don't know, that's changed recently? Anything of, any new valuables that have come in recently?
As in creatures?
Yeah. Creatures, items of magical power, things that are new.
The delivery was stopped recently. We do not have our latest shipment. We have not captured any new creatures either.
Oh, quick question. Did we not say that we were going to heal as we walked?
You did not. Did you want to heal as you walked?
Yes.
Okay. Who do you wish to heal as you have been...
No, the health potions.
Oh,
Remember?
well, sure. If you guys want to do as you wish, if you wish to have drunk anything.
Hopefully before we got to the point.
Chug, Kayla, chug.
Shot. So it's a...
They're graders.
2d4?
44.
44.
Greater is
Plus
44 plus 4.
Not bad.
13 plus 4 for you is 17.
Swag.
You need another?
How close is Winnie?
Oh, that's right. Winnie's nearby. You gain full.
Yay!
So 20.
Yay!
Well, you didn't miss many
40,
points.
actually. 44 plus...
All right. 14
Oh,
for
never mind,
Markesh.
54 plus 4.
Yay! I'm healthier than I was.
Okay. So, did you wish to do anything else with your healing?
I'm okay.
All right.
So what's the plan for the hag? I can be a mild annoyance. That's about it.
I kind of glance around a little bit over at the caster fellow and then back to Smokey. And then say, oh, I don't know. I suppose we should discuss how we wish to deal with her.
We could always tell her a certain troublesome group has made their way back to the fortress in a different area.
Wait. Doesn't this guy have seniority over the hag?
Yeah, but he's also naked, so...
Making up excuses.
I mean, but also the thing is that if we do say that she goes there, our exit takes a little while to set up. I don't know if that'd be enough time.
Well, if they're not able to come in through the south...
I believe it's the other way around. We cannot leave through the south.
No, we can leave through the south, we can't come in through the south, right?
You could go through the south door if you wanted.
Oh, I misunderstood. I thought he said that we couldn't go there.
You could. It would lead to another room.
The dousing room.
Quenching room.
We can't come through that door, though. There's a door we can leave out of, but we can't come in through that door.
Correct.
Okay. So if there's only one way in, I do have this nice fancy new rod that I could use to barricade the door.
That's true.
That would be very handy.
Okay. Well, in that case, and Smokey would look to the wizard and kind of do like one
What are you inferring?
Well, I mean, do you have a spare change of clothes anywhere? First off.
No, they'll be in the study.
Do I have a robe
Do
or a
you?
cloak? I have a little shoulder cloak.
You have a
I don't think
dress.
that's quite the same.
I have a dress.
These are your new wizard's robes. Enjoy.
It was
Actually-
my fancy dress.
He's tall, though. He's super tall.
I'll change into my dress.
I
Since
mean,
I'm
it doesn't change your appearance.
Yeah, I'm in bugbear form, so
yeah, so you're just gonna
no
give
one
him
can
your
see me.
travel shirt?
That's highly sketchy.
Well, you say that, but Rook can see you.
you can see me. Oh, that's
Rook can
fine.
see
My
you.
base investigation definitely beats Smokey's spellcasting mod.
Nobody look at me. I'm gonna change into my dress.
What?
This bugbear just sees clothes coming out of.
Well, yeah, he just sees. Oh.
Well, I
Oh.
said
I
was
nobody.
thinking
I
that was
said
a horrible
nobody
idea.
look at me.
Okay.
I mean, he's charmed.
Yeah.
And I said nobody look at me, so he shouldn't be looking at me.
I mean, yeah, he'll try to maybe respect it for a little bit.
All right.
He is curious, but he might try to take a peek.
No, he won't.
I will be standing in his way.
He's
Okay.
charmed.
I only have speech bulk, so.
Yeah, we
He's
just a
charmed.
charm
He
first.
does,
Yeah, but
he does as he's told.
Yeah.
Not necessarily. He does what he would do for a friend.
Yeah, a friend. It's like it's very similar, it's just like that
Yeah.
kind of thing.
Anywho.
But if Rook wants to intercept, Rook make a Rook will make him have disadvantage. 2. Yeah, he doesn't see a thing.
Swag. Cool. So I'll give him my travel clothes, which are a pair of travel pants and a white shirt,
Sure.
and then I think that's an.
All right. He looks at them and he goes,
He's
I
like
can't,
8 feet tall.
I can't put this on. As he holds 2 handcuffed hands in front of you.
Guys, this isn't gonna work. By the way, is there another place you keep a copy of your notes, like for safekeeping?
Everything I have was in my study.
I was just wondering. Now, what's your purpose here? Like, what's your speciality?
We do have another option.
I infuse flesh.
So, like, you stitch it together magically then?
No, I take different elements from them and create clones that resemble the mixtures of all the creatures I use.
I think I follow. So, you take.
He's a mixologist.
Yes, essentially. Whereas the hag does the magical items into flesh, you do other things as flesh into flesh, as if. Yes, okay, I follow.
It's Dr. Frankenstein.
More Zhivalgo.
We could also. I mean, no, I can't say anything because
I say we move back to a couple, maybe in the hallway or something, to talk a little bit more.
Question. In the room that our tokens are currently in, are there any fabrics, like casein bags or anything like that?
Yes, there are.
Okay, I can really fix this problem really quickly, but I'll burn a 5th level spell doing it.
I don't think that's necessary. Which way to your study? I don't think it prudent to display you in front of the hag in your current state of dress.
It's where we fought.
Oh, yes, of course.
With the circles and all the tanks.
guys, all I'm saying is we know where we're going now.
I agree.
Yes, I would agree. But I really believe that we should, at the very least, have something to cover his body before we go in.
Well, yes, or we have somewhere we could hide him for a small amount of time.
That's true.
By the way, Rook, as this is happening, 2 kobolds bump into you from behind.
I will spin around quickly. Did you bring them all?
Here! They have in their hands what appear to be 8 black adamantine dice.
I hold up my hand.
That's
We'll give them over then.
I'll give them 10 gold pieces.
Okay, as you all kind of praise the kobolds with a bit of, reward, handing off shinies to give them a good incentive for a nice job, you do hear in the distance, "Where are you going? Get back here this instant!"
Well, go on. You have work to do now. I'll take these, thank you.
You hear them turn and look, oh, she's upset. Oh, protect us! As they go
Then
behind
let's
you.
Get back to work as fast as possible.
At this time, she comes around and sees you all. She looks at you in confusion.
Kayla just can't.
What are you doing?
Thankfully, this fella's out of the way. Pardon me, ma'am. I apologize. We were removing the distraction. We sent them to get the rest of the dice so they could get back to work sooner. And then just kind of like cower a little bit.
I am going to have to ask you to do something real quick for me.
Okay.
You just when you're talking to the wizard and your friends, you're speaking in common, aren't you?
Yeah, when I'm talking just among my friends, yes.
And when you went to the kobolds, you talked in Draconic.
Yes, that's correct.
And when to the hag,
I don't have any goblinoid or anything like that. I would have
So
stuck
you-
in common.
okay.
I understand this may not maybe
Make
go
a
very
deception
well, but oh
check
well.
with disadvantage.
Alrighty. Deception. I mean, it's still 20.
It's also a natural one, too.
But
No,
it's still
not.
20.
It's a disadvantage.
It's still 20.
It is,
Natural
yeah.
Can't
talent.
roll a 1.
I
Yeah,
cannot roll below
yes.
10 on dice.
No,
It's
no, no, yeah, I know.
on
It's
dice.
so funny, though. But she does look at you a little confused, and she goes, "How do you speak in such tongues?"
I am far traveled.
Hmm. She's going to peer at you very intensely.
Going to just move a little bit over here and move him into the corner.
Just gesture silently. Get
Just
back in the
over there.
Okay. As you do that, yeah, she just peers. Tell me, how do you know Common?
Well, like I said, I travel a lot. I spend some time as a mercenary for traveling merchants. I had to make a job somewhere, and then I came here.
Look, he's motioning for the other two to get against the wall.
She looks at the kobolds. Back to work! Go! And you see them both scurry as they just kind of get a little... and they run away as fast as they can.
Fuck is just definitely thinking of liberating those kobolds.
She looks a little more closely at your party as she steps closer.
Go.
All four of you, what are you doing here? What is your task?
Scratches my head. Plays dumb.
We were actually on our way to find you. There's something funny going on in the southern rooms. Sorry, wait, okay, hold on. Which is the direction that we don't want to go? Okay, so hold
To
on.
the south. We don't want to go to the south.
Wait, the direction we don't want to go.
What is going to send them down to the south of the map, like how we're looking now?
Uh,
Like, I don't know the orientation of
I
the
mean,
map.
no one really knows the orientation. It technically wouldn't. I mean, they wouldn't know if you said south either. But if you tried to gesture like another room, if you said something else, a description
Or
of some
describe
kind.
a room.
Yeah.
And
In the-
Loki will say in Goblin, mirror room.
The mirror room. Make a deception check, both of you.
Okay.
Can I just make it with advantage?
No.
Here we go.
Oh god.
Why couldn't?
I mean, you have it. You have inspiration.
You have inspiration.
I do. God damn it! I'll use it.
All right, using inspiration to reroll that nat 1. We instead get a
This is deception.
12. All right.
It's
12
better.
and 15 from both of you. Okay. She looks at you. You're not allowed in the mirror room. What are
No,
you
we're
doing?
not.
What are all of you doing? Out of my way, big bugbear! I will see what is in the mirror room. As she goes.
You were just told to deliver a message, God.
As she does enter, she does see the wizard in the back. She goes, "What are you doing? Why are you naked? What is going on? What is this?"
Fuck this! I'm just gonna Eldritch Blast her.
Oh, and we're gonna go right into combat with that. Okay, everybody.
So, Hex and Eldritch
And I had
Blast.
declared a held action to attack Wizard Boy.
Yes.
Oh,
Fast
you've been
spam.
I guess
affixating
technically
your.
the trigger hasn't happened. So
I was gonna say,
never
well,
mind.
yeah.
I've been using my actions for deception.
Yeah,
I cast
unless you were holding a
banishment.
crossbow this
On
entire
which
time,
one?
going, "Oh, we're just innocent people." Didn't
That
really
would make
work.
sense.
All right, so we're gonna go ahead and get that turn order up for you guys, and go ahead and roll your initiatives for me, please.
No surprise round. Cause
Wait, I get a surprise round. Because I acted before she knew.
You initiated it, so you would be able to
Yeah.
launch first.
God damn, guys, why are we rolling so poorly? Right now, anyway, we did okay up till this point.
Ooh.
And the answer is because we're going into combat, of course.
All right, she rolls a 21.
God damn it.
God damn it.
So I think only one of your things hit. I can't believe you.
All right,
fucking
let's
troll.
see here. With her as a 21 and the rest of you going in. All right. So let's see. With your first strikes of Eldritch Blast, the 25 will hit. Does the 14 hit? The 14 does not. Sadly, only one.
Cool. Love that. Love that for me. The one that did the lowest damage hit.
4 and
Swag.
1. 5, well, yes, because, yeah, you can't go lower than 1. So, yes, you do 5 damage in total to her. As the sudden surprise of the blast of Eldritch energy comes at her, she's just suddenly stunned by that, but then she quickly retaliates, going, "You vile fiend!" And she returns a sudden blast at you and shoots arcane missiles in your direction.
Magic missile.
Mm-hmm. She's going to
Well, then I'll
magic
shield.
missiles. You have shield?
You have spells?
I do have shield.
Oh, Eldritch Knight stuff.
Eldritch Knight.
All right, so yeah,
two
if you have
spells.
shields, she'll send them out, but as your reaction, you throw up the barrier as it boom, 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 doesn't do any damage to you, and she just looks at you and goes, "What?"
As my
I love her
reaction, because I am done with this bitch.
You already
I'm gonna
used your
use
action to cast shield.
You did.
Fuck!
Yep.
That's right! God damn it! Never mind! I don't do anything because I forgot how to play D&D!
Smokey.
Oh, good lord. All right.
Just so we can get him also on the board too.
Give him a initiative.
Yeah.
Smokey will walk up to her and he's gonna do a quick shock and grasp.
All right, go ahead and roll for your attack.
Just stroll up to her.
That's no.
Yeah. Another natural 3. 'cause I
Oh,
can't-
well, that
I can't
misses,
roll.
sadly.
I
as
can't
you-
roll.
Try to come in from behind. She turns and goes, "Nice try!" and deflects your paw away. All right. He in the back has no idea what's going
Smokey
on.
will move into the doorway over here.
Okay. He's a little concerned, and he is just going to be unsure what to do. Yeah, he does. He's gonna hold his action. You don't know what he's doing, but he's holding something. It's not a spell, but it's definitely like he's kind of like getting his fists up ready for something.
Mhm.
Rook.
Okay, so I'll go ahead and take a step right over here to kind of block him in and say, "Sorry for the inconvenience, sir. Please do stay back," and take aim at the hag. Go ahead and first I'm going to use my Insightful Fighting
Okay.
just to get that out of the way and get it ready.
Yay!
20.
She rolls a natural 1.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Cool.
You get the sense that the hag is weak when she's alone.
Yep, and then I will go ahead and take a shot with my Envenomed Hand Crossbow.
That
25
hits.
to hit for
Yay!
rather low damage, but 30 total if it hits, and she's affected by poison.
She is not affected by poison.
In that case, it's just 24.
Well, I'm sorry. She is resistant to it, I believe.
22 plus 4 is 26.
Oh, actually, no. She is not. Poison goes through normally with her.
30
Oh,
damage.
yeah.
All right, 30 total. She takes a nasty, wicked bolt to her chest as she just goes and looks down at it in surprise.
Run.
And that was my action, bonus action, and movement. So I'll turn end.
Varkesh.
Okay, well, before initiative started, I attempted to roll banishment just as the attacks went out.
Well,
So, will you let me do it now?
you have very low. Just roll a d20 for me. Your DC will be 13.
Okay.
To see if you could have done a reaction off as a Valindra went off with one. Oh yeah.
19.
All right, so she'll make a charisma saving throw to your first banishment attempt. All right, that is going to be an 8.
Fails.
Oh, yeah, that's advantage. No. Okay, so after these goes on, Varkesh kind of holding it, but releases it at just before the right point of his turn to start again. She disappears.
Shit, where'd she go?
I banished her. I think now's about the time that we get the thing and go.
There's not enough time.
There's plenty of time to get started.
Here we go in the room, and I'm gonna usher
We
everyone
have
in the room.
more pressing matters.
All right, well, we're going to have to do some cycles because there is a certain amount of time before she reappears.
Okay.
Valindra, shuffle on as you wish.
Damn it! Now we have to walk.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like any of this.
Is the dragon in this room?
Not in that one.
Oh
But
fuck!
there's-
I went in the wrong goddamn door.
You went in the right door.
No, you're just
I
out.
told you he's through that room and
Oh.
then south.
Oh yeah. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. I'm dashing.
All right, as you
Maybe
emerge into
30
here, you can
seconds.
see what appears to be kobolds that look at you surprised as you come in and they move off to the side, each of them working and busying around the place. You can see in this room what appears to be a massive pit in the center, grates covering the side walls as it descends down into what appears to be a furnace of sorts. Some large pit where fire is slowly glowing on the edge of the walls inside the pit. Off to the corner, you can see the massive body of the dragon cut up into manageable pieces as it was dragged across. Head, wings, arms, legs, tail, all the like, scattered into the back, some of it being removed. Flesh has been taken, some bones remain, but the head is intact.
Sweet. I'm gonna. That's my turn because that's 35 feet, and
All
I
right.
dashed. So
Smokey.
He will look to the wizard and say, "Keep up with me." And he will use feline agility to go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. And this is like a pit kind of thing?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. He's going to move over here. I think that's like 55 and then 60.
Okay.
And then he's going to use his action to start casting teleportation circle on these 4 squares right here.
Okay, as you just pull out your own chalk and you begin to trace down on the ground.
Yeah.
So, yeah, this is basically the same time in syncing, actually, with her banishment. So, we'll just do a round robin of people going. The wizard is going to follow you as per instruction. Rook, what are you going to do?
I'll let him through. I really don't want to, but I will. And then I'll follow after.
Okay, and Varkesh, I'm assuming you do the same. Muted.
Sorry, yes, I do.
All right, so,
But just as I go by,
yes.
the doors, they have handles, they have locks on them.
The one that you entered right there where the pen is a fresh new door. Iron reinforced with what appears to be a solid latch that could be locked.
Okay, well, I'm going to bend the lock and bust it closed.
Alright, just to kind of get it a little sealed. Yeah, that door behind you is jammed shut.
A requirement? You need a
No, it's
roll?
very easy to do for you.
Oh, okay, fair enough. Yes, I will attempt to keep up with everyone
That's fine.
after
And
that.
so I wasn't quite done with my turn. I'm going to get to here and then pause, kind of rush back to Varkesh. We could kill the hag too, and whisper back to him with that statement.
Yes.
I was really hoping we would.
This is the perfect fucking time to do it, but people are going through the door we can't return from. And I'm going to continue the rest of my movement back through here and end
You
my
guys have
turn.
a minute to talk about it.
Okay, well, Rook's trying to maybe guess for you to do it. So before you jar the door shut, what do you want to do?
Well, I guess I won't jar the door shut.
Okay. What do you do?
Well, I'm going to continue on and make my way into the room because I have a head to carry.
Okay, all right. As you just make your way inside, Smokey, you are round 2, 1 round down. Basically, it's a sequel. It's a sequenced thing.
Yeah, I'm looking for a pen.
All right.
There we go.
So, inside, Valindra, what do you want to do? You can see the dragon corpse off to the side.
Well, now that I know it's there, and other people are coming in, and there's not really anything I can do, I'm gonna move. Can I move back 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35?
Okay. The kobolds are very confused as they look around, going, and they're looking at Smokey, who is a bugbear drawing a circle on the ground.
And then I'm going to ask Varkesh, could you please bring her back, and Rook and I can stand where she was, and we can attack her. Just wait 6 seconds for us to get into place. Because I think it would really behoove us if we could just finish her once and for all.
So you want me to do that? Yes.
Yes, but give us time to get into place. If you don't
Okay.
mind, please.
No, not at all. Just shout out if she vanishes and uses magic to go somewhere.
I'll move back 5, 10, 15, 25, 30, 35.
All Okay.
And the hag disappeared from... She was like right where I was, right? Where I am
It
right
was
now?
right here.
Hard to tell.
Okay, cool. Well, then
All right.
actually I'm 5 feet there, and then I'm gonna... I'll move 5 feet there, so I'm a little bit away from her.
All right, and Rook, you're getting into position as well, since she's last in the initiative.
Yes, I am.
All right, and I'm assuming you're going to be hiding behind something just to get you that little advantage on the stealth.
Not too worried about stealth. I have insightful fighting.
True enough.
Well, you know what? Not to the
Advantage.
point. Advantage would be excellent.
You've
This
missed so many
pathable terrain
times.
down here.
Those are actually burlap sacks that have been laid on the ground. They might have been sleeping mats for the dwarves.
So that is pathable terrain.
Yes.
Perfect. So I'll move on over here and try to well, no, throwing any under me wouldn't really do any good. I'll stay right here because my primary concern is her being able to run through our space and ready in action to attack.
Okay. Are you trying
I
to
don't think
hide at
there's
all?
anything I can. I'll try. I don't really see anything that I could hide behind. Maybe
There's a
maybe
pillar.
sacks, but
There's a
if I
pillar.
hide behind the pillar, that leaves an open space for her to run, and I'm not going to do that.
All right.
I absolutely refuse to leave any opening for the hag.
Okay. Yeah, so Varkesh, they have gotten into position at this time. Smokey has reached the third of his cast. What do you wish to do?
I would assume that, via the countdown, I would assume that they would have gotten into position by this point, correct?
Correct.
Okay, then I'll do as they ask and drop it.
All right. As Varkesh drops concentration, she reappears, giving you your chance to launch whatever you were holding as your action.
Yep, and that would be on Varkesh's turn, so...
This is Varkesh's turn, yeah.
Neat.
Okay, so if it's still my turn, I'm going to go into the room, grab the head, and try and stuff it in my bag.
All right, so you go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. You'd still be moving, but yeah, eventually you would have made it into
Yeah.
there.
So
No, not there.
But where is it then?
Okay,
Top
up,
right.
up, up, and then all the way to
Okay.
the right.
Sorry, my computer screen was cut off.
Like I say, you don't want to jump into the pit, maybe. So
It's down there.
you
Ah!
scurry around. As this is happening, the kobolds are a little curious as they kind of gather around Smokey and they kind of ask, "What are you doing?"
Am I allowed to talk while I'm drawing? I don't
You
think
can
I
make
need to-
basically like you make you pause and you can say something and pause. You can say something.
New home for
Yeah.
kobolds.
New security. Don't touch.
What do you say this in?
Goblin.
Goblin.
Oh
Alright.
wait, damn it! I forget who I'm talking to. I mean, if I say the kobolds, I'll speak in Draconic because they asked me what in Draconic.
Okay. Make a deception check.
I'm so good at these.
7.
Great.
All right.
Great.
So, with no inspiration point for you to use, they will try and see what's going on with you. Okay. So, at that round, she releases, and you guys can launch your attacks.
Alrighty, I will do so. And I will also call it, Valindra, get closer! Use the sword!
Jeez.
And that's a lot of damage.
All right. So that's going to be 37.
Yep. 37 points of damage to the hag.
Nice. And
She's gonna run.
Valindra, what are you going to do?
Can I Eldritch Blast her?
Of course, you can try. Well, the 22 will hit.
Gosh.
And then you come onto your turn. That was your reaction, then immediately into your turn.
And there's the hex. And now it's my turn. And I will move in for flanking advantage. And if my cat would get out of the way, I could see them clicking. And there's my long sword. Stop. You can't play with the mouse.
The cats play with mice all the time. Ooh,
Advantage
that's a 20. So yeah, moving in, you get yourself the advantage that you need, and that will deal 9
You also get hex.
X.
plus 4.
13.
Very nice. 13 in total.
And I don't have my action surge or anything like that.
Not yet. But yeah, all right. So as you step in behind and give her a 1 good 2 swing, she, suddenly very unhappy and surprised at this, is going to try and turn this to her advantage. She's going to cast a spell. I don't know if someone has a specific feat yet.
I don't have Mage Slayer yet.
All right, okay, so we don't have to worry about that. All right, she's going to go ahead and cast what appears to be Planar Shift.
Yep.
I really want that, but I don't have it yet. Next level.
All right,
Next
so with no counter spells or anything to do, you see her She just looks back and goes, "Fine, I didn't like this plane anyway." And she opens up what appears to be a quick portal into a fiery inferno that she steps through and gets engulfed in. This is different from what you remember before.
Yay.
She's gone. That's all I care about.
She seems to
Yay.
be. All right. Varkesh, you step ahead into the bag all by your little self. At this time, the kobolds are a little concerned with Smokey, and they're going to each take a look at him very intently.
Sure, they have like a -5 to intelligence. Sure.
I mean, let's see. What do kobolds have for their little brains to do with you?
Smokey will call to Varkesh for help at this point before they start guffing up his freaking circle.
It's -1 for intelligence.
Yep. All right. So here we go. -1 for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
DC 17.
So that's a D100. Let's try that again. Oh well. DC is 19?
17.
17. Well, one definitely sees you,
Okay.
and the other one does not. Only one sees as he kind of looks and goes, "Ah, ah, ah!" At this point, you recognize he's noticed something. But you're focusing on
Varkesh!
your spell.
Yep.
Whose turn is it?
It is going to be...
Mine, I think.
Well, you're doing your thing. You've done the countdown. The Archmage goes by. Rook.
Okay,
There
so she's already gone, correct?
She's gone. Yes.
She
I wanted to make
gone.
sure since she was still on the map.
Yeah, I know. There's a little lag.
Okay. Alright, well, that covers that. Next, to the room. And that's my movement. Action dash will put me right in here and surrounded by kobolds. And then I'll go ahead and bonus action and Insightful Fighting on this fellow again. Just to get ready. Just sizing him up, essentially.
Okay. Just make a, he gets a plus. So, I'll just roll it real quick with this one. He rolled an 8. No.
Yep, 21. And that's my bonus action, and movement, so we're good.
And as Rook, as you come in, Smokey will try and do with his eyes to the kobold that's freaking out.
I'll look to him and be like, "You, get out of my way," in Draconic.
Well, no. Well, the one straight in front of you?
I assume so. Yeah, I don't know.
Sure.
Wait,
The
which one's
one that just discerns Smokey is the one right by the Archmage.
The one right by the Archmage?
Right by the Archmage.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I don't really...
That's okay.
I don't really know what's
Varkesh.
going on, why he's freaking out, so that's all I got.
So I would have had Smokey kind of calling out for assistance.
Yeah, he seems to have kind of like
Yep.
called for you for something, and
Okay, well, after stuffing the dragon head in my bag of holding, I'll turn around to the kobolds and shout, Za Ukathur Ix Ara an Inner Ux. Which is Draconic for come with us, new home for you.
oh, interesting. He would turn and see you because he has seen past the illusion, so he could
I've
see
still got
that.
seeming.
But he could
You do.
see that you are a dragonborn.
I think he has
well,
to make an individual check for each of us.
Does he?
I thought
I
he
believe
did, yeah.
so. Because it's technically a different illusion on each of us.
Because he did only see for
It's
Smokey.
the one effect, though. Let's see. Here it is. Creature can use action.
The target and make a check. That target. Yep, that's only one. Let's see if he can just quickly see past Varkesh.
Well, see through.
See through. It says the connection's been interrupted again. Oh, I hope it says it's rolling the dice. I don't know if it'll show up for you guys.
There it goes.
18. Oh, then yes, he does see. Okay,
Yes, you're a blue dragon
he
lord.
sees that you.
Correct,
Yeah,
correct.
so you have a bit more merit now with your true identity. Make your persuasion check with advantage.
Oh, that's good. Advantage is good.
Man, this kobold is pretty sharp.
That one is at least.
24.
Oh, 24. Okay. All right. Instead of raising the alarm, he is going to pause and think for a moment as the others look at you very confused because they obviously understand what you said. But yeah,
I'm
that's their
building my
turn.
own chubby kobold army.
Valindra, you shuffle on.
Yep. I'll move 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35 feet. And 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. I'll use my action to dash. Can I close this door?
Yes.
I'll close the door, and as my action, use the immovable rod to kind of like bar the door.
Okay, just for the temporary sake, so you click it into place. At the moment, you don't feel like there's any impending danger except for the Archmage nearby, but Smokey can continue his cast. If any of you wish to do anything while he finishes, you can, but at this point,
Yeah,
Smokey.
30 seconds.
Smokey can finish this.
I'm gonna look at Rook and be like, kind of like, actually, I guess like the whole group, and I'm gonna be like, I mean, is it time to,
I'm just herding the kobolds, going, come on.
Yeah,
reoccurring problem?
Yes, it is.
The kobolds are
So-
going to maneuver into that direction, some confused, but the one who does see you is going to vouch for you and pretty much say, He's true, he's big, he's blue, he dragon.
No,
Okay.
that's baby blue. No.
But yes,
Okay, so on 3 then, Rook?
On 3.
Oh dear.
alright,
And we'll ready actions to fire at the whale. But I think we ought to surround him first.
alright, okay, so Smokey, you have about 3 more, or at least 4 more.
I have. Well, I mean, depends on how many rounds you let go, but I was only on round 4 at that point.
Alright, we'll just say that you have 5 left. So at this point, make your attacks.
Alrighty.
Against this hopefully hopeless guy.
So 19 to hit.
Yes, it hits. 17 hits, 25 hits. Oh, then that one misses.
I'm gonna use my inspiration point.
Oh! 20. Alright, all 3 will
19
hit.
plus 26 is 45 points of damage.
Oh,
Alright, 45 from Rook, and how much from Valindra?
it's coming. Good damage. That's
20 points.
20
Yeah.
points. So, with the pair of you together, how do you want to do this?
Yay!
I'm going to kind of spin around as on 3, take quick aim, and try to put one right between his eyes.
Alright,
And
as you...
I'm gonna send 3 blasts to his like chest area.
Alright. Getting both the
Wrap
heart
it
and the
up.
head, you coordinate your attacks as they both launch 3 blasts, 1 bolt, as they sink and boom, go inside. He just looks stunned as he topples and falls into the pit onto the side. And he falls.
Nope.
He does.
Nope.
Yes.
I am right. No, I'm not right next to him.
How would he fall? He's on a secure space though.
With the sudden impact, his body's gonna topple, and
I mean, from the direction, force would
I
push
will
him
I will
towards that
cast
kobold
Mage
there.
Hand.
if he hits the
Can I
kobold,
cast-
he's gonna ricochet off like a bowling pin.
Can I cast Mage Hand and catch him?
No, because you cast it for the Eldritch Blast.
I don't suppose I can try and grab him.
You are casting a spell and focusing on that.
It's no big
Okay.
deal. We have rope. We can jump down and pull him back up.
How deep is the pit?
He fell down 5 feet.
I'll go get him.
That's like nothing.
Alright, Varkash, you jump down to get him.
Yeah,
Alright,
I'll carry him or whatever.
alright. As you drop down to grab hold of him, you can see now that upon someone entering the furnace, the flames to the side suddenly ignite with more fury and life. As you can see suddenly around you this continuing
Great, I'm
flame
about to be
move
cremated.
around. And as it does, you can see it begin to coalesce in the center.
So you're gonna want to like move.
I'm
grab,
going
jump
to
the fuck out.
throw him up
And you
first,
see
just
what
to get
appears to
clear.
be a large fire
course.
elemental emerge like a pillar of fire in the center. As it has begun to activate, looking around to see what it will burn, it sees you. I need you all to roll a fresh initiative.
Piece
Mm.
of garbage.
And I rolled 1 lower than my last initiative. This is great, guys.
So, what round am I on? I'm on round 6.
This will be around 6 for you.
Oh my lord.
Alright.
Well, I still threw him up out of the way anyway, so it's just me down in the pit with this thing.
You wish to haul him out?
Well, yeah, I would have done that.
To yeet.
Okay, drop and yeet. Just make a strength check for me real quick, just to see how accurately you yeet him. Okay, so it's a bit of a
just over
yeet,
the
but
edge.
it's more of like, yeah, he's kind of like a half on, half off sort of thing, Peter dangling,
That's all,
but yeah,
that's all I care about, as long as he's up out of the pit.
yeah, he's up and
Wow,
slightly out.
with my ridiculous modifier, that was abysmal.
+7, yeah. That was a
Yeah,
2
it
on
really
dice.
was. All right, so the elemental will roll a 12 for its initiative. All right.
God damn, I can't do anything.
It's fine, you just do your thing.
I mean, you started it. You know what you did.
Keep doing wizardy shit. It'll be okay. We
So-
got this.
Do you protect Smokey because he is concentrating on a spell?
I got 6. I got how much ward I got left? Oh, I don't got much ward.
So,
So yeah.
the creature, as Smokey has continued to trace the runes, the kobolds look a little panicked as they watch their supposed, well, one especially, watch their
Messiah.
supposed new prophet of blue suddenly get engulfed by fire.
That's fine, they can watch their Messiah battle it out with fire. It's great for the...
So it makes its first touch attack
Excellent
at you. 22.
Nope.
Misses. And then 20. Misses
Nope.
again. Nearby, you can see that the fire is very intense, and Varkash, you can feel the heat graze across your scales. But, luckily for you, the dwarven armor does not suddenly heat up with this intense flame in front of it. It seems to allow itself to reflect, or even just absorb the damage, so you don't take anything. Belindra.
Okay, I'm going to move 5, 10, 15 feet.
Standing on
Can
the
I
body.
stand? Yeah, I'm just gonna stand on his body.
Sure,
okay.
you can stand on him.
And I will Eldritch Blast Mr. Flame Dude.
That hits. That hit. They all hit.
Look at all those.
Yay! Look at me go.
Oh, shit.
Ooh,
Yay!
damn.
Go.
Too bad the hex wasn't
24.
transferred.
Yeah, too bad.
24 force damage, though. It's still a lot.
Still quite a bit. Yeah, you can definitely see that the creature is a little surprised as this sudden boom, boom hits him. He looks at you. Rook,
How can it, what
I
does
don't
he
think you're
say?
sneaky
I
good.
know.
what does he say? He says, "How dare you!"
Yeah.
That was
Okay,
so... What did he say? I know. That was so...
I know the answer.
so important question. How carved up is the dragon? Like, is it in separate chunks and I'm
Oh yes, lots of chunks.
Excellent. So I'm gonna go ahead and call out, keep it up, Best Blue. Show our new friends what you're made of in Draconic. And then
You're gonna go loot my dead relative, aren't you?
I'm gonna run over here, grab one of the bits of the body and just start shoveling pieces into the furnace to try to distract the fire elemental.
Oh, okay.
Since his primary purpose is burning things, after all.
Do a performance check for me.
That's what you went to community college for.
That I am not proficient in.
Okay.
Have a
So this is
sh-
basically you
this
saying,
mod-
"Yoo-hoo, look at here, nice tasty dragon flesh." As you, ooh, 17.
Oh, that's good.
17, so
All
it's
right.
not awful.
Okay. Let's see if he gets distracted by you. And he is going to be slightly interested at the same time. Okay. All right.
Dragon barbecue.
Varkash.
I like it. Hold up. I still have my bonus action.
Oh,
I'm going
bonus
to
action.
do also insightful fighting him, just in case.
Oh, okay, sure. Go right ahead. Yeah, but
22.
Varkash, what you doing? As he, he's gonna fail. He's got a -2.
Well,
Yep.
how many turns does Smokey have left?
Or
You get like maybe 20
Oh.
seconds or more.
Okay,
I
well,
thought you only had 2.
I feel it's probably better just to attack and try and kill this thing instead of leaving it to chance. So I'm going to inflict wounds on this beggar
Oh, all right.
at level 3.
Okay,
17.
that hits.
Oh, thank goodness.
ooh,
Oh
There we
shit.
go.
35.
yeah.
Okay, well, so you may have been convincing him with something to burn, but instead he gets a little bit suddenly taken by Varkash. He doesn't like that at all.
It's taken by me.
Suddenly taken.
So, Smokey.
Poor little guy.
Sure.
He just wants to do his job. He just wants to burn things.
Yeah, he
Charming
does.
job.
He was one day away from retirement.
But yeah, he is going to
Candle in the wind, buddy.
Oh boy. So Smokey convinces he is going to try and attempt to get to the fuel.
That's Vark. Oh, okay.
Varkash gets an opportunity attack.
Ooh, and seeing as I have Warcaster, I'm going to inflict the things again.
All right.
So
Okay.
level 3, inflicty woundies.
You're really burning up the last of your spells.
Well, fuck it. I don't like fire elementals running free,
Sure,
so
go ahead. Oh, that misses, I'm
Oh.
afraid. Sorry.
can't have it all, I'm
Unfortunate.
afraid.
So, with the 11, you just try to grab it, but instead you just get this flame that comes around. However,
Dang
I
it.
believe when you make these attacks, you are attacking a fiery body.
It's touch.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
touch
any
that,
that
so if it
touches, that
hits-
is a touch.
Yes.
So you will take the damage, but of course you have
the-
resistance, luckily for you.
Mm-hmm.
So you will
Force
take
no growth.
Forward slash.
1. 1 fire damage.
One.
1. This critical 1.
All
But
of-
as the creature does get to the
Ouch.
flesh, it is intrigued by it, and it is going to try and consume it. It is going to count as a healing potion for it to heal.
I'm okay with this. I'm just keeping it distracted.
Wait,
All
it
right.
heals when it eats something?
when it gets fuel for the flames.
I guess that makes sense.
It's homebrew.
It's a little
I
fun,
like
but he's there, and he's consuming
I
it.
enjoy
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that's what he's doing. So Valindra, what do you want to do?
Fast. Boom, boom, boom.
2 hit.
That's good.
Wow, that sucked. 14.
Right, you just took down the bits of health that he gained, basically, plus an additional 1.
Yay! Helping!
Okay. He's weakened and doesn't like being hurt. So, Varkesh. Oh, sorry, Rook.
About how much of the dragon's body is left at this point?
A
I'm sure
lot.
there's plenty, but-
A lot.
Oh, probably not enough that I could get rid of a significant amount before we have to leave. Well, I'll go ahead and just turn and shoot at the fire elemental then.
Oh, okay. Go ahead and shoot. That misses.
12, and I will follow up with bonus action fire again.
That also misses. With a nat
jeez.
one.
This is why you hide.
So as you just try to stand there with your version of it, it looks up at you and swings left and right, avoiding the arrow doing any impactful damage to its core. Varkesh.
Fuck it. I'm gonna run up to it
Yeah.
and I'm gonna try and slap it again with some inflicty woundies.
Okay. You
At
jump
level
down
3.
another 10 feet.
Wait, that's
What's
another
10
10 feet?
Yep.
Oh, so it's stepped, it's tiered.
It's tiered.
5 feet and then 10 feet down.
You can just run along the edge and
Yeah,
reach-
I'll just run along the edge.
Okay,
of this
alright.
place.
Running along the edge, getting to the head of the creature.
Yeah. I'm just gonna right in the face. So level 3 again.
Oh, that misses.
Does it?
Sadly, 13 is its AC. You do miss. As you try to grab it, the head sucks into its body as you get nothing.
Wow, that's 2 level 3s wasted. Fuck.
Smokey, once more.
Smokey's gonna yell out in Ignin. Eat the rest of the dragon body that's dead.
Not me!
Okay, you do get the sense that even though you say that, he doesn't seem to have a means to be able to get out of the pit that it's in.
Oh, it's a turtle. Okay, yeah. Seeing that, Smokey will say, "Throw as much as you the dragon into the pit as you can, and draw."
It's going to try and take Varkesh and pull
No,
him down into the pit.
No, it.
So it's a grapple. You can make a acrobatics or athletics.
I'm going to make an athletics.
All right,
19.
8. You succeed. The second
I'm like,
attack.
no!
The right hand fails, but the left hand comes from the back. 16.
Athletics again. 17.
Ooh, very close. Luckily for you, at the very last second,
Dancing.
you feel like it's about to grip your tail, but you're just like, no! You pull it out of the way just in time as it just grabs nothing. It doesn't like this, and it does want to
How
get
do you think
away.
I felt?
Considering it didn't get you in, you get one attack of opportunity, but you can see on the fire grates in the ground, he begins to suck himself inside.
Right.
You get one attack of opportunity.
Okay. So that's the thing. Screw it. I'm gonna Inflict wounds level 2.
Okay, go right ahead.
Uh,
That will hit.
Hey.
Hooray. That's fine.
Back roll.
17! 17!
Yes.
The fire elemental goes down into the grate and sucks
No.
itself through the iron fencing.
Okay.
It's okay. So are we out of
This-
combat now?
This is
You
fantastic
don't
for
know.
us.
Okay. Well, whose turn is it?
Mine.
After Rakesh just goes to Smokey.
Yeah, Smokey.
Smokey, what turn to counter is this?
9.
He's got
Alright.
one more left.
Cool. And then it's. Wait, we only have one more round.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I will activate.
We have
it
this
next
round and the
turn.
next round.
Wait, this round. Okay, and then next round. I'm going to say, just to throw it out there, we do have a fire breathing potion if we really wanted to burn what little bits they have left of the dragon. Just an idea. And I'll hold my action to attack anything that comes into view that is threatening.
Oh, okay. All right.
And I'll move 5, 10, 15, 20 to here,
Okay.
in front of the door.
So yeah, Rook and Varkesh, you can move if you wanted to before.
Yeah, I'm gonna climb out this pit.
Okay.
Okay, I mean, I'll call it. I would love to, but I don't have it. And use my action to shove again as much into the pit as I possibly can, so that when
Sure,
the fire
sure.
elemental returns,
Actually, this is a good idea. I'll assist Rook in pushing everything into that pit.
Well, as much as you can, I guess. I mean, it's chopped into body bits. You can grab a body bit.
Then I guess I'll do that.
Sure. You each grab your own version as an action, and you can throw it in. Then you have your movement.
yep.
Biggest bits.
You use 20 to get to there, Varkesh. You have 10
Yes.
left,
Okay.
and the spell is about to go off.
For a round.
I can make it.
I can dash.
Okay. All right. If you guys stay there, and Smokey, you finish as you go. Ding! The circle once more completed opens up the portal to the keep.
I'm gonna grab my rod and go in.
Well, that's what you're going to try to do first, maybe. But Smokey, are you running in?
Smokey's gonna grab the wizard's body because no one else
Drag him
is
in.
doing it. Drags him through the freaking portal.
Okay, sure. You, as the wizard also disappears. And no one has commanded the kobolds to do anything at this
I'm
time.
about to, but I was waiting for my turn.
That's fine.
Yep.
But during that time, the fire elemental reemerges and comes up right near Rook and Varkesh as it looms up over. Valindra, you held an action.
You said I had no way out.
What do you mean, no way out?
You stated earlier it couldn't get out of that 10-foot space.
It can't get out. It can't get out of the pit. Yeah, it's on the corner. Its little
So
body
it's
is.
like reaching.
Imagine
up,
it
trying
like this. It's like there's this core that's coming out from there, as long as a piece of him touches the
Well,
middle.
2 of them hit.
2 of them do hit. Ooh, okay, all right. Not enough to do it yet.
Yeah, but I have to go through.
That's fine, but it's not your turn yet. The creature's going to try to grapple Rook. 13.
All right, and I will make my acrobatics check, which I actually literally can't fail.
Yay!
All right, and then the second attack, 17.
Again,
Can't fail.
Can't fail.
Yep.
Well, unless it scores higher than you, which it can.
no, it can't. I have
Not with that roll.
acrobatics.
Not with that roll. Not with that roll. If it did, it
Yeah,
could
yeah.
have. But yeah, it just tries for one last grab at you, Belindra.
I'm taking my rod and I'm gonna tell the kobolds through the gate, and
In her
That's
common
it.
tongue.
I mean they understand common. It's fine.
Rook, what do you want to do?
So I'll grab one last chunk as an action and toss it in, and then start running for the portal, calling out in Draconic through the glowy floor.
Okay.
And I'll use my bonus action to dash.
It's gonna try
I'll use
and-
my bonus action to disengage.
Okay. Good. As you get out and disappear into the portal. Varkesh.
I will say use my free action in Draconic. Go on, lads, through the shiny, and then book it through the shiny myself.
All right, you're going to dash through?
Oh, yes.
All right, action to dash as you get all the way into where you need to be.
No.
Eventually, you would emerge on the other side, back at the keep. Suddenly, boom, 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 boom. 6 little kobolds reappear as they
Damn it.
emerge into the keep as the portal closes off.
Hooray. Now I need to think of new names for these kobolds.
As you are now all again safely returned to Great Falls Keep.
Yay!
Lucky for you, you are not in danger anymore, and you have with you a new mass of servants to have to call for aid or anything you'd like. But during this time, we're going to go ahead and take our break for our players so that they can have a chance to stretch their legs, get any things they want to drink, and return in about 5 to 7 minutes. So, we'll see you guys in a little bit. Don't go anywhere.
Bye.
Okay, and we're back a little sooner than expected, but we're all good to go. So, you guys, you return to the keep. You've got some more kobold friends with you, and you have a head inside a bag.
Excellent.
And a body.
I send the
And a
other
body.
kobolds off to go find the others working in the kitchen.
Okay, the one who saw through your illusion does go immediately. The others are a little confused, but...
I'm going to drop the illusion at this point.
Ah, okay. The sudden surprise from all the kobolds is very noticeable as they see not 4 bugbears, but 4 distinctly different creatures. One at least being an imposing dragon-looking one that they're at least more familiar with and eager to perhaps please. But the others, they're a bit more of like a... Okay! Where they go, rather not wanting to be near this sudden turn of events.
All right, guys, help me get this body out of the tower before we're scryed on.
Yes, let's move quickly, and I will pick up some and start moving too.
Okay, so you move as quick as you can out of the tower, down into the main keep, hauling the body with you as Varkesh, make a wisdom saving throw.
Dang it.
What?
You're more than
We had
capable.
non-detection on us.
It's overcoming his fear of crossing the heights.
Oh yes, I forgot about that.
Yeah. So he's able to cross the bridge, luckily this time, doing his best to remember some of the tricks he had last time to avoid kind of looking down and getting that vertigo. But you do make it into the keep. As you return, you can see that the dwarves are currently working as you make your way through the top and down to the stairways to them. They look and go, "What you been up to? What's that? Who's that? That can't be. No.
Yes, our raid was very successful.
Is that the bastard that stole us?
You're damn right.
Well, you fucking killed him. That's good, right?
We killed him twice, actually. He had a clone. It was great.
Oh, but even
Most
better.
cathartic day of my life.
Well, you go and take that nasty thing away from us, and we'll get back to work.
All right. And I'll go up to the lead one, whose name is Degra. And I'll ask her, so how is the project going with the lead?
Yeah, lead box. Aye, it's right here. As she goes and grabs it, she pulls it out and it goes onto the ground. It's a very solid looking, kind of almost like a rectangular box for like wine, but could hold what appears to be the items you were requesting.
Yeah, and does it have like a really good lock on it and all that sort of thing? Or even just no lock, just we can seal it so it can't be opened?
It just has a lid, lad, and then we'll fuse it.
Perfect. Okay. You say you don't want to touch it, so if I put it in, you're okay fusing it from there?
Aye.
Okay. I am going to take out the rod, just the rod, and I'm going to put it into the box.
Okay.
And then, can we do this now?
Sure. I suppose.
I'm going to follow along for the entire process.
All right, it's very simple. You can see that they just take the lead, and what they do is they already melt what appears to be a part of lead already, and they spread it around, and then you can see them take the lid and they hammer it in. And then they take that and they reheat it on the whole edge so that the entire thing burns a bright, brilliant red. And they do a few more to seal it.
All right. Well, thank you all very, very much. This is, I couldn't have done it without you.
During that time, it would take them a little bit. Varkesh, Valindra, and Rook, were you doing anything?
Well, I mean, we do need to find something to do with the body, so I suppose I'll start moving it out towards the courtyard for the moment until everybody's here.
Varkish is starting to feel a bit sluggish, and he's going to go to his room.
All right.
But you have new minions.
Ha ha ha!
Introductions later.
Valindra is just gonna help out around the forge, however she can.
Okay, just watching Smokey as well and seeing the process.
A short time after determining that fucking no one's coming back to the courtyard, Rook will go ahead and behead the Goliath caster, set the head off to the side, and start trying to move the body to toss it over the edge of our battlements
Okay.
into the forest below.
Sure, sure.
Since I have no better option.
No problem.
Threw away my kobold's dinner.
I'd rather not feed your kobold sentient creatures.
No problem.
Was a sentient
You-
creature.
You immediately remove the head, allowing you to drag the body, as it has Valindra's clothing.
Well,
Well, it only
did
has
we
the
ever
pants,
actually
really.
put it on him?
I guess not. No, but you definitely take the other part, and you...
Oh, wait, hold on 1 second here. I am taking those manacles
All right, okay, he remembered at the
That's
last
very
second.
Wait, what are you doing with the body?
He's
I'll
going
toss
to
it over
toss
to
it
the
over.
elements.
I need you to make a sleight of
Why?
hand check, please.
Because what the fuck do you expect me to do with it? We gotta get rid of it.
It can be
sleight of hand
tried on once it's out of the castle.
Well, I'm not magically inclined, and you all decided to leave
Well,
me
I'm
to my own
sorry.
devices.
It's a thieves' tools check, but I'm sure that's the
These
same.
tools check. Yeah, it's the same. I didn't take expertise either, so 19.
19?
Yes,
Why is it?
Doesn't seem to open.
because I'm proficient and I have.
Yeah, 19's not
yeah.
enough. Doesn't seem to open.
No.
Oh yeah, the door, right?
Well, the
The
shackles,
locks,
but yes.
they're really.
Oh, the locks.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
magical.
the shackles you're trying to... If you want to take them off, you've got to unlock them.
Well, I mean, we're not really in any dangerous situation. I'll just repeat trying until it comes off.
All right, as you try to do this, you do notice that your tools are being worn down a little bit. If you continue to fail, they might wear off.
And like what might wear off the tools?
Yeah, the tools might break off.
We have a spare set. I can talk to Varkash to get them remade anyway.
Okay.
If they start getting close to breaking and I detect that they're going to, if I try again, I will immediately go off and find Varkash for the replacement and ask him to strengthen these.
Sure, but go ahead and try again.
Okay.
So you fiddle another 10 minutes or so.
Let's see. 27 this time.
The second time, you're more able to do it, and you actually get them to delatch. And yes, the rest of your party has successfully finished sealing off what appears to be your old rod. Valindra, are you there to watch this, it seems?
Smokey would prefer not.
I mean, I was more like, because I know this is something that Smokey like mentioned it to me. Right.
No.
Well, I'm just helping out the dwarves. So I mean, if that's what they're working on, then I'll be helping it out. But I'm not really like focused on it.
All right,
So I'm just, like,
Smokey,
I mean,
try to make a sleight of hand check to see
Yeah.
if you can just not make it be visible.
For just hiding what's going in. Here we go. God damn
What's your
it.
passive perception, Valindra?
like 11.
Oh,
Yeah, 11 exactly.
Then yes, you succeed.
I did it.
Just barely, at the last second. It's one of those comedic moments where it's just like, she looks at you and just like, sticking it in. Nothing to see. But luckily for you, she doesn't catch winds of what you did. And there, it is sealed in the lead case. As Rook returns back with what appears to be a pair of shackles and a head.
Alright, so what are we doing with these?
I mean, I have one. Varkesh has the other. I think that those are the ones I was using, so I'll take those back and I'll put them on the belt.
You may wish to clean them off at some point. I'm sure they got quite blood spatter during our combat.
Yeah. Speaking, where'd you do with the rest of the body?
Oh, it's outside of the keep. It's over the edge.
You tossed it out of the keep.
Well, I'm not very well going to keep it in here to stink up the place.
Do you remember that thing I did like the big old spell with the diamonds and stuff to make us unable to be scryed on?
Sure.
That can be done with dead bodies too.
Okay. Not
So-
quite grasping what you're after.
So if you put a dead body outside of the little bubble of non-scrying, they can find it and find us.
That is a problem. Is Eldarine back? I'm sure we could just go fetch it.
I haven't seen him yet, but
Well, then I can always try to jimmy the locks, and it will be real interesting to see what happens if I try.
Oh, you're talking about the thing where he has to, right? I mean,
Okay, where did you throw him over the edge at? Maybe we can just.
Yes,
I
forget over the
will-
battlements. The most easily accessible location, pretty much right over this cliff here.
Okay. How far down is it from the?
Actually, come to think of it, I can jump from any distance I so choose.
without
What would
damage.
be? I can burn it. I can burn the body. Someone give me a torch. I'll light it and just burn the body when I get down there.
Cool.
Uh,
I have a torch. I'll give him a torch. In my explorer's pack, I have a torch.
Okay.
Neat.
So I'll give him a torch. And
So Rook is going to just drop down on his own?
I mean, I'm gonna
no way
watch
of getting
him.
back up, but
I'm gonna watch him, and I'm gonna put Winnie on his head.
Okay.
And Valindra, once I'm down there, if you could please take a short rest. Get ready to do
So
the event
how
for
do
the
you plan on getting down?
Me?
Yes.
I have the ring of feather falling. I'm just gonna jump right off.
Oh, okie dokie. So
I don't know.
as Rook goes to the other side and he jumps off the wall to head down to where the body would have fallen, he disappears 200 feet below. into
Winnie
the
is
forest.
with him. So
Winnie is with him.
Yeah. So I'm gonna look through Winnie, make sure that he's okay.
He goes through a few tree branches and eventually arrives at the forest floor.
Okay, and I'll start looking around for the body.
It's easy enough to find. You could just follow the hole that made in the canopy. It's right there on the ground. But you can see that there are some interesting effects that the body has done as it now has landed.
Okay, what's it done?
Well, the body itself hasn't done much, but the distraction and the noise that it has made has drawn the attention of some things, and you can see what appears to be some carnivorous creatures lurking around, ready to devour the corpse. But they see you and are pausing on the edge.
Okay. And is there any sort of clearing, or is it still?
Oh, this is the
indefinite
densest
vegetation?
forest you could possibly be in.
Did my
Excellent.
kobolds follow the body down?
So
You
assuming
can make a
Valindra's
nature
looking
check if
to-
you want to see what they are.
Yeah, I'll give it a go.
Sure, make a nature check.
Yeah, and I'm taking a short rest, so.
Oh, you can try.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. They seem to be large, bear-like creatures, but their faces look more that of an owl.
Owl
Oh
bears!
shit. We have some owl bears down here looking for their next meal. I think
Well-
maybe the situation may have solved itself.
Yeah, but how you gonna get back up, Holmes?
Well, I'm not right this moment. In about an hour, when you can spellcast again, maybe you should come down here and pick me up. But for now, I'm going to fade back into the forest and try to hide and get out of the way so the owl bears can do their business.
They're not.
Mhm. Make an animal handling check for me, please.
Okay. 17.
Yo.
17. The owlbears seem to be content to leave you alone as you back off slowly, indicating no threat as you leave the body there. Eventually, after you wait for a while, they will go towards it and begin to devour it amongst them. You can see a pack of 4 that have come around it and start to take what they can from the creature.
And I would like to definitely hide and observe and make sure that that body is thoroughly destroyed.
Make a stealth check.
Okay, stealth check is going to be, well, I mean, same mod, so 19. Jesus.
So, you try to stay as low as you can, keeping hidden as you watch and wait carefully to make sure that it is all taken away or devoured, as you try to stay low during the time of the short rest for Valindra to get her things back. So, Valindra, you are settling down, trying to do your best. Varkesh, I'm assuming you're short resting in your room.
Oh no, Varkish is slipping into a coma. Onto his bed, he is out.
Okay, he's gonna...
Nap
he's
time.
Alright, just taking your own rest. Yeah, Valindra, you spend an hour to get yourself back. At this time, though, things happen.
Do they?
They do. Alright. Okay.
all over the board.
Interesting.
An hour passes.
I will.
Does Rook watch the body the whole time? What does he see?
Rook sees them take off the pieces one by one away into the forest.
Good enough. If it's all split, if they try to scry it, it won't give them anything that makes sense.
Sure. But you don't follow the bugbears, right?
The owlbears?
Bugbears.
Sorry, the owlbears.
I mean, so is the body, like, is large pieces of the body still there? Or did they completely cannibalize and take it off?
They basically, what you could see, would pick off the pieces and pull it apart until they could grab the whole thing to take it with them.
Okay. I'll follow at a distance.
Okay. they move around as carefully as they can around the side of the wall that would be the cliff that's for the keep until they reach a cave.
And while I'm going along as well, I'm also going to be like dragging my adamantine rapier behind me, leaving a small trail that I can follow back.
Sure. You can see them going to a cave that just seems to be on the opposite side, on the other end of the bridge that would lead to the main part of the cliffside opposite the keep. They go inside there, and they seem to be satisfied, growling and grunting amongst each other, devouring what meal they can, but you do leave a trail behind.
Okay. Content that they're going to eat that and will be good. I will then make my way back towards the tower and kind of just clear that trail that I left as I'm going.
Okay. Trying your best, make a survival check.
Using your little feather tail to.
Nope. So that'll be a 16.
Okay. So, you return to the spot that you were at.
And then I kind of grab Winnie, hold him down in front of me. Yes, well, I think that took care of it. I'm ready to come back up when you can come down.
Has it been an hour?
It has been an hour.
Okay. Oh, poof. Action surge, poof.
Okay.
Just as quick as
Well,
possible.
you wouldn't be able to action surge because you can't do the two thing. That's okay. But you're able to poof, 6 seconds, grab on, return. As you once more bring Rook back up to the top. Nope, I'm sorry, you don't.
I don't? Oh,
You don't.
Winnie.
No, because I can't teleport.
You can't teleport.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, you said that it doesn't
Yeah, we
It's
can't.
got-
cover
all
the
teleport.
observatory area.
I mean, if she wants to get...
I'll start looking for rope around the castle so that I can just lower the edge down. Because we can't teleport either.
You can't teleport from the keep.
Yeah, I mean, we tossed it out about here. If we just move this way a little bit, we'll be fine.
Question.
Yes.
Rook, do you still? I know I'm not there, but do you still have those adamantine crossbow bolts I made you?
Yes. Some of them. I'd rather not damage our structure if I can avoid it.
I'd rather not damage that castle. Fair enough.
But yeah, Smokey, are you staying with Valindra at this time and she's telling you what she's going to do with Rook?
He would have, yeah, and yeah.
You
if
both
he-
can make Arcana checks then.
Yeah. Arcana. 19.
Smokey, with enough intelligence in your arsenal, you recall that that teleporting is not capable in this keep. However, the extension of this private sanctum has a limit, and it does not encompass the tower. So anything around that tower or beyond it would probably be outside the influence of the spell.
Yeah. Philindra, if you just tell him to walk around half the castle to where the biggest tower is, maybe even over the bridge, you should be able to pick him up from there.
Okay. I will tell him that through Winnie.
Okay.
Easy enough.
On my
And,
way to the tower.
And I will, of course, do the same just on ground level.
Okay. So you make your way heading towards the tower, as Valindra will also mirror your movement. Eventually, you both arrive outside what you would believe to be the private sanctum. Allowing Valindra to enter the tower, she then falls down into where Winnie is, eventually finding you. It's enough to kind of look around the base to find yourself, but you do, and you grab a hold of him and return up to the point where the teleportation tower was.
Yay! We did it.
Back inside, back inside.
We go
I mean, we
back
still have
inside.
non-detection on this, but yes.
I don't care.
Take Winnie back in.
Sure, as you make your way all the way back inside the keep, feeling yourself safe and secured. For the rest of the day, it's down to you what you wish to do. Varkesh is recovering. The rest of you, what do you wish to do?
Yeah, Valendra's gonna do the same, actually. She just wants to chill.
Okay.
Okay. But before you run away too, so for you two, because we need to apparently figure out how to do a trial and stuff, I can contact some people today. Do we think we should do, what was his name you talked about a couple of times, maybe Jin?
Jin Tritz, you've met him before, the draconic
I
fellow
haven't.
who... Yes, you have.
I don't think
Yeah,
so.
you've met him
You
rather
did. You came inside his house.
Yeah.
I thought it was at the Traders Guild. Okay, sure.
No, you came inside
Yeah.
his house. You appeared as a gas cloud.
Remember,
Okay.
we had to have that whole situation where we had to figure out how the fuck to get us over the walls and such repeatedly?
Yeah. All right. Well, anyway, I could contact him, or I mean, I could contact Lulu. She's on the outside, but I don't know if this is quite her expertise.
Well, I think perhaps we should ask her to find out if
If there's a date scheduled and time.
No, I was more thinking of whether or not, well, how the reaction would be of the general populace if we popped in and made a very dead dragon start talking.
Well, I mean,
How the local opinions are on necromantic magics, that sort of thing. It tends to be frowned upon in many places.
well, I mean, from what they were saying with the guards, they were saying that a dragon was actually coming to act as sort of like the judge. And so
I mean, that is wonderful, but there's still the matter of us literally dragging a dragon head in there and making it speak while it's dead. Necromancy. Do you see what I'm saying here?
I mean, it's just a part of magic. I mean, it's not a very nice part of magic, but it's not trying to kill anyone.
It's very progressive of you, and I agree, but not everybody would.
I'm
I
not
just
sure.
want to make sure it's safe in the law system there.
I mean, I guess I could ask Lulu to do some research in that. If sure, so are those the two people I should?
Actually, since this is going to be in the Trilac area, would I have any recollection of a trial of that sort?
The legal system, yes, you would know it to some extent.
Okay.
Most of the crimes that would be committed that are petty crimes would pretty much be taken towards a magistrate. They would be in charge of reviewing the evidence presented by the constabulary as well as the defendant to see who could provide the best and the most swaying argument in a sense, and then they would make judgment upon that. There was no jury of any kind. For crimes of extreme, such as maybe betrayal, treason, that kind of higher end stuff, a dragon tribunal is called. A representative that comes from the city of Alniel will review a case and have it dealt with their decision. Typically, it's a very extreme punishment.
Okay. And would the use of Speak with Dead be something that has happened in the past and has precedent for?
Make a history check.
Okay. 18.
Nice.
As far as you know, magic is able to be used in the court. They have used circles of truth in order to try and get witness testimonies. They do know that those things aren't necessarily the best and will sometimes be allowed to... the witnesses will be allowed to choose not to answer, and it would not be considered incriminating upon them. But they do use that as a means to try and coax someone to feel like their testimony is believable. As to using other magics, it's possible. You've heard that other places will provide something sometimes depending on the situation. But most of the times you're not entirely sure which specific magics have and have not been used.
Okay. And is there any inclination as to how the court might react to the use of Speak with Dead?
You're not sure?
That's what I'm specifically concerned about.
The Speak with Dead, you're not sure
That's why I
of.
ask about it.
Okay. Well, in that case, I think I should maybe contact Jindritz first, and then I'll have an extra sending if we have follow-up questions, maybe with the Speak with Dead thing.
I mean, that's an option, but I must ask, what do you intend to ask Jindritz?
Well, I mean, they're sending a dragon from Alniel, and so at this point, they must have made the request, and I don't know if his family really is the one that it goes through, but he could look around and see if there was, a court date scheduled, and then, it's not good if you guys miss court dates, so if it's possible for you guys to still get there in time for your original court date, and now that we have our, star witness, that'd be pretty great.
We also have a favor with House DL that we can call in.
Not with House
I don't
DL.
think it would. I don't think this is the sort of thing that we'll really want to use a favor on.
I don't know. Spending my life not in prison sounds pretty good to me.
We can keep that in our pocket as kind of a. Well, no, I suppose that's definitely something we'd have to declare beforehand. Otherwise, it would just be a very obvious tampering of evidence.
What's the house we have a favor with?
As
The
the rivals to Hastiel.
Let
Dorel.
me look.
Dorel. Perhaps if we could figure out which house is being sent, that would be helpful.
Well, they would have sent like the head dragon person, right? And that's TL.
No, last we knew it was
No.
Durel.
Oh my
Durell
god.
is the one that's in charge.
All these dragon names sound the same.
They are meant to sound the same.
It's the worst.
They're coppers.
Or cats.
So,
But I mean, I don't. I mean, is there something else you think I should message then, or?
I don't know.
I suppose not.
Okay, here I go.
okay. Who are you messaging?
This is to Jen.
All right.
So I know that they automatically know who's talking, so I don't need to worry about introductions. I'll do this in Draconic too. Okay.
Okay. We're just going to assume that it's a direct English literal translation, so it's like it's
From
not
words and
yeah.
Yeah. Greetings. My friends Valindra and Rook are having legal issues. Do you know if they have a date and time set up? And the judge.
Right? After it goes through, you do get a reply. Nice to hear from ya.
Yay!
There has been a appointed judge. They have already been sent to the city, awaiting you.
Okay, so apparently the judge is already on their way to Trilak, I'd imagine, because, that's where the thing is. He didn't say who it was. Well, I'll ask about the Speak with Dead thing, but is there anything else we want to know?
If our favor could be used. Okay. Well, Rook said he didn't really want to use it for that, so I don't know. Yeah, I guess that's it.
To be quite honest, I think we have strong enough testimony with the Zone of Truth and this dragon head.
Okay. Setting number 2. Is there a specific date or just when they show up? Is Speak with Dead admissible evidence?
You have 5 more words, but it's up to you.
Oh, I miscounted.
We have the culprit's head.
Yeah. Speak with Dead admissible evidence. Yeah, we have the culprit's head, sure.
Yeah, alright. Interesting. The use of the spell is permissible, as long as it's cast within the halls. Make sure to bring.
Damn it! Okay, he didn't give us a date, but Speak with Dead is fine as long as we do it within their controlled environment.
Okay.
So, looks... we don't want to keep the dragon waiting, especially since you guys already, escaped from custody.
Yes, that is true. My concern, of course, is that we are not exactly well rested, but I suppose we
we couldn't go there now.
To talk.
I mean, we couldn't go there now. Varkesh doesn't have the juice.
Yes, that does put a bit of a damper on that plan, so tomorrow.
Yep.
For now, I think we should determine exactly what we want to ask the dragon. The less variance in our plan we have, the better, in my opinion.
Did you destroy the tower?
Well, remember, we gotta first of all decide. You you're asking the question. I think you have to because you are the person who casts a spell.
You will
Assuming
need to appear as someone that is not us, preferably someone that is.
Yeah, I was
hostile to-
probably gonna look like your sister, if that's okay, Smokey.
Yeah. Are you able to change your appearance by yourself, or do you need me to do it?
I would need some assistance in that, please.
Okay.
But yeah, I unless they have someone in their courts that can cast that spell, in which case we have no control over the situation.
I'm rather curious. I'd be surprised if they let me cast that spell on you for you to cast your spell, to be entirely honest.
The simple
But
fact of
you
the matter
have-
is,
But you can do minor illusion, right?
Yeah,
You could do her voice and stand behind the dragon.
I could do that.
I mean, at worst, we can at least ask and see if they will allow it. As
I know, just
the dragon is hostile to us, it is a very logical thing that we would not want it to see us.
yeah. Well, it's a backup plan if they won't let us use seeming.
I mean, we're not really being charged with destroying the tower, though. We're being charged. Well, we are being charged with destroying the tower. We're also being charged with, attempted murder.
Mm-hmm.
Which,
I don't know
as
how-
far as that goes, obviously it's not attempted murder.
I mean, we did try to kill him.
But we didn't. We let him live, and we very much so could have killed him. It was all in self-defense nonetheless. There's no way for us to prove that, I suppose. Not directly.
There's no way for us to prove it, and I'm sure they have deeper pockets than us, so they're gonna.
Now, if we
that
could prompt a zone of
money.
truth, that would at least give us some level of testimonial weight, being that, of course, the other group also used zone of truth and careful wording, I am sure.
True. Yeah, we could request that. Okay.
So, but questions, assuming we actually get the dragon in a good mood. Did you destroy the tower?
And he'll
Next
say
question.
yes.
Then the question is, why did you destroy the tower? It's gonna probably bring up me in the book.
Yeah.
Hmm. It depends on how talkative he feels like being. The dragon, of course, and how
I'm
much he
gonna
knew of why he was doing it.
I mean, it's possible he didn't know, but I'm thinking back. He obviously was going for me. I'm trying to remember if he mentioned the book. I don't think he ever really talked too much.
Mm-mm.
Another useful thing that we may wish to bring in is who told him to destroy the tower in the first place.
Yeah. I mean, this is not his territory at all. Which, opens up a whole new can of worms.
Of course, and since this is a dragon tribunal, that could very well be to our advantage. We could
Yeah.
ask him why he invaded another dragon's territory.
To get the unique grimoire that was held by the cat.
Which I do believe that would actually skip over a couple of our questions and leave us some more maneuvering room.
I mean, there's no way that they can blame you for having a book that was given to you by a family member.
Yeah, that statement is accurate, but I feel like they are going to find, the dragon probably wouldn't be, the judge wouldn't be too interested in that. I mean, I don't know.
I recommend that you keep me secret and safe, grandson.
Yeah, I wasn't planning to actually take you with me tomorrow.
I would not
Wait.
recommend separating me from you either.
No, why?
It's just a very bad, dangerous move.
What? Well, you've been hearing the conversation, Grandpappy. Grandpappy's on this. So, what do you suggest? I have a feeling you're going to be brought up unless we are incredibly lucky.
Can't you word questions more to your liking?
I mean, we can't control how the dragon's going to respond.
You could always ask him simple questions.
Yeah.
You could always refer them to yes and no. Or you can always have him recite things.
How do we have... I didn't know you could do that with that spell, though.
Or have him perhaps say, who were those that were under your command? And he would list names. You could also ask him, Was he responsible for the attack? A simple yes or no will be able to give you that answer.
It's true. And as Felindra is the only one who can actually make the head talk, that does give us a lot of leeway.
That we know of. It's a common spell.
Well, once you cast it, though, no one can cast it on the same object for 10 days, right?
Right, so I would just... How long does that spell last? Like, could I cast it in the morning before we get there? And then it'll just hold?
I don't think so. Speak with Dead.
I don't know if you were there for that long.
Speak with Dead is a 10-minute duration.
Okay, sweet. So that won't work.
So, I think... did you share what Grandpappy said?
I did.
So I think it would be beneficial to us to ask him if he was responsible for the attack on the tower, who was under his command, and ask for descriptions of them. Whether or not... how do I want to phrase this one? Essentially, to absolve myself and Valindra of any guilt in this, I would want to ask him if either of us had any... No, we wouldn't want to ask if we had any say in the matter, because we technically did, and that it was a threat if we did not give over.
Well, I think the most important thing is the self-defense thing. So we could ask, like, did you and your companions strike before your targets did?
Well, he was not there to witness the initial encounter with your brother.
Oh yeah, but he was also the one who started blowing up the tower.
This is true. And technically speaking, he did that far before we ever attacked your brother.
Well, I don't know about that timeline, but... Okay. So, let's actually write this down. La la la. Did you destroy the rookery? Who was under your command?
And ask for descriptions.
And what did they look like?
A way to keep that more concise, describe and name those who were under your command.
Okay.
Or... does that really count as a question, though, as a question?
Technically, no.
What I know, I've cast a spell like a lot of times. If I say something like that, will the head respond to it?
It's unique for each head.
Okay.
We'll have a backup ready. So who was under your command and describe them is our alternative. Who ordered you to make the attack?
Well,
yeah.
I think it's worth remembering, of course, that being that he is a dragon, he was the one who would have technically been in charge.
Uh-huh.
Unless there's an older dragon telling him what to do.
Oh yeah, he's a young that was a young dragon. He was not in charge. He's part of a family.
Yes, but he would have likely been the ground commander in this case, being that we didn't see any others. Unless, of course, they were also running around disguised as humanoids.
We could ask him something along the lines of, were you planning to let them go if they did as you said? And if he says no, that'd be really bad for him.
But if he says yes, that'll be less good for us.
Yeah, that's kind of like
that will also bring to question what he was asking of us in the first place, which would lead to the possible revelation of your book.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But I also feel like the Council of Trilak is not going to care if you have a book.
When you consider the fact that it is a matter of property for a dragon, in this case property given by someone other than the dragon, it may hold some meaning to this tribunal, unfortunately.
It's not the dragon's book, it's your family's book, right?
I mean, we got it from the suzerain.
The family's from what Smokey's told us, the family is also subjugated by that dragon. So technically, they are his property, as is anything they own.
Can we just never go to a town again and just live in the wild? Is that an option here?
Oh no, no, it's dirty and disgusting. I'm okay with.
You know what else is dirty and
but-
disgusting? Dying in a cell. That's dirty and disgusting and pathetic.
Okay.
That's fair.
All right. So what were your charges? They were obviously attempted murder,
Treason.
treason. Well, what was the reason for treason? Just under dragon rule, you guys did bad stuff.
The
I
reason
believe
for
so.
treason. Well, also we attacked according to them, we attacked a tower and caused people to die.
That's true. Property damage. Damage and manslaughter. I'm not quite sure what the treason thing is, though.
Could you
Okay.
ask Lulu?
Not today. I mean, we're going to go there eventually, so we could obviously rendezvous with her and see what all the information she's got.
I'm sure she's going to be under watch at this point.
Probably. I'll keep thinking about these questions, and if you guys have any ideas, I mean, feel free to. I'll add them to the list.
Well, anything that we can do to discredit the character of the ones who accused us, in this case your brother and sister, I think the description is the primary important part as far as that goes. But additionally, if we can prove some form of covert operation within the borders of another dragon's territory, that will be useful.
I mean, it would be useful, and I'm sure they'd be very interested as to why a blue dragon's in a copper territory. But if we ask him that, he's going to say about the book or an
That's
artifact that was valuable.
This is true, and if he attempts to paint us as a thief, which he likely truly believes, that won't do us any good.
Mm-mm.
We may want to stick with simple and rely on other means to disprove the attempted murder charges.
Did he see Varkesh revive my brother?
He
did.
would have, yes.
Because he escaped.
Yes, that's true. He did indeed see him bring him back to life. So that being the case, yes, we could use that.
That would also
Did you
confirm
witness
that
the blue draconic humanoid resurrect the
Fallen Fire Ganassi.
Well, Varkesh isn't really in question, but it would confirm that I actually did murder somebody and not just attempt to.
Not necessarily. Here's where we get real tricky. We asked him if he attempted to
I mean, he almost
attack,
killed.
if he attempted to attack the unconscious Fire Ganassi, which he did
He did.
in every attempt. It was collateral, but he did.
Did you attempt breath weapon? I don't like using language in these questions, but yeah, did you attempt to breath weapon the unconscious Fire Ganassi?
Perhaps phrase it, did you attempt to use your breath attack on a field of targets including the Fire Ganassi? Well, that
I don't
makes
like
it a little
that.
shaky. That's weird, yes.
Did you attempt to breath weapon?
AJ's laughing at us, and I'm scared.
Well,
Grandpappy's gonna offer a side. Maybe perhaps you should say, did he care for the safety and lives of those under his charge?
okay.
Thanks, Grandpappy.
But that's not what I'm rolling my eyes about.
Well, there's. Well. I mean, we're avoiding so far the book questions, which is good. And you have how many questions, Valindra?
Do I have 6 with my ring or just 5?
Just 5.
God damn, I missed my old patron.
For that one perk.
It was the rod that gave you the perk.
Just 5. Like a
But
basic bitch.
We're having trouble coming up with 5 good ones anyway.
I mean, it's still not gonna help us. Rook and I broke out of prison.
That is true. That we could use the favor for.
Can we just use the favor to drop all charges?
I feel like that would be asking too much.
I feel like that's a pretty reasonable request. They said we're their champions or whatever.
No, we defeated their champions, and that earned us a favor.
Right, but we're kind of associated with their house, so...
No.
We're associated with.
No, we're associated with the rivals.
God, I hate everything. All of these dragons, they all sound the same, except for Varkesh and Varkesh's dad. They sound different.
Just a brief history for you and for your allies. You are currently in favor with the house that you are not employed with. The house that you are employed with is one that Jindrit works for. Jindrit is a copper dragon. The leaders of the valley are brass dragons. The brass TL is the house that Jindrit works for, and it is the one that you are employed to encourage and increase their standing and reputation. Your deeds and activities mark good on their reputation. Unless they've done something bad recently, then you've marred their reputation. Durell is the house you have a favor with, thanks to Varkesh's bargaining, since you defeated their champions. But they still would like to see you burn, because you're champions of another house.
Could we ask Jindrit to come? God, I don't know.
I feel like at the favor of acknowledging that, of basically ignoring the bust out of prison.
This would be good, and perhaps we should just keep the questions specifically to discrediting the dragon and not so much our involvement in anything here. Pointing the attacks to be blamed upon the dragon, I should say.
They're not just gonna forget that we broke out of jail, though.
We could ask that be struck from the record.
Doesn't really work like that in most cases.
It depends on how much weight we carry with this favor.
Okay, I think we need to sleep on it.
Go to bed.
All right. Each of you retiring for the evening, having yourselves settled down, gathering what provisions you'd like to eat with, and allowing the keep to fall to the slumber. Taking to your rooms. Varkesh, your sleep is a little different. I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
I fucking yawned and you make me do what now?
A
Make
con
a
save.
Oh, bollocks, what have I done?
What have you done?
Okay. You remain asleep for the duration of this.
Duration of what?
The long rest?
The hours continue. Near about 3 in the morning, where darkness is still at its peak. Varkesh,
Yeah, I'm here.
you stir a little bit. You realize that your body is not where it should be. You're not on your bed. You find that you are on the floor, and you have what appears to be your bag of holding and all of its contents poured out, including the head, all of your tools, and all of your wealth. You find that you have settled in a pile of your money. You are laying there quite content. However,
Just with a random severed head and all my forging tools. Just okay.
but you are piled onto the gold and the other rare items. Your trinkets, your gems, the little inanimate objects. They're gathered around you, holding them kind of like your precious, basically.
Okay.
As you hold them, you realize, though, that your body is a little different. Your head's a little heavier. Your teeth
Sorry,
a
what?
little larger. You lick your tongue around your maw. They're a little bit pointier, and mass is big. Your head feels heavier, and your horns are just a little bit different. Maybe growing a bit more? But at this time, it isn't the surprise of being on this mound that woke you up. The surprise is a trembling. A sensation of the ground vibrating slightly. As you look around, after realizing you're on the pile, you look to the window, and there's a big eye staring at you. And you just see what appears to be a cold frost growing on the edge of the glass as a breath comes out going,
I love this guy.
So! You are
my
not
eardrums
your
explode?
average dragonborn.
I just woke up, dude.
As this happens, the glass shatters in and a large
Oh,
hand
shit.
comes to pick you up.
What?
I need you to make an athletics or acrobatics check.
Did he just fist smash through my bedroom window?
He did.
He has a conversation he wants to have, and he wants to have it with you in person outside.
Parent fucking Lee. An athletics, did you say?
Correct.
Yeah,
Sorry, what? An athletics. Okay.
athletics.
You prefer athletics, it seems.
Yeah.
Oh,
you got a
very
chance.
nice, very
Good
nice.
chance.
Now, the stats are a little wonky here, double checking. I'll just roll this one real quick, but I think it's an additional bit to it.
Surprised.
You succeed. The hand tries to grab onto you, and you're just like, no, no, getting out of the way, just pushing it off as you back into the corner. He goes, don't be shy, I just want a better look at you. The hand is continuing to go inside. Did you want to do anything?
I'm curious on what he wants exactly, so sure, I won't resist, all things considered.
Okay, the second claw grabs onto you and pulls you out. There's a bit of a dunk as your head gets out onto the back, but he pulls you out. You're not unconscious, but he does hold you to the side. I'd like the rest of the party at this time to basically see if you awaken
notice
to the
if it's a
noise.
big-ass
Yeah.
dragon smashing through the castle.
Make perception checks with disadvantage.
Sure.
No. So,
Like the dead.
Well, Rook also makes one.
when he comes back. But yes, so Varkash, this large silver dragon, very familiar to you, has come once more, and he smiles. The breath on him is just frigid
Rancid.
cold. And you can see that even though as he's talking, there seems to be this kind of drawn magical nature, an instinct about him that he's unable to fully keep in check. And as he talks to you, you can just feel frost trickle across your cheeks and just kind of gets that little burning sensation. But he
I'm
does
just freezing to death.
he does smile and goes, "You're not a dragonborn, are you, Baby Blue?"
I'm so tempted to lightning breath him in the nostrils for that. Just saying. But I reply, regardless. I go, I suppose I'm not normal, all things considered, that I'm going to leave that last part secret.
You're a half-dragon, aren't you?
Yes, apparently.
Yes,
Can you
your
put me down now?
blood. It exhilarates mine.
What?
Sorry. We Silvers have a little tendency to attack any blue we see.
Pushing at his hand now, like, let me go.
No, oh no.
we go.
You'll stay right here with me. You're going to answer some questions, and
I
I'll
need an
decide. Oh, you gonna call it out?
Yes.
Okay. Make a performance check for me real quick to see how loud you shout. We'll see if we'll give them a chance to wake up again.
God damn it.
Okay, as you go, I need a... As you get squeezed a little bit, your breath is kind of caught at that last second as you try to yell it out. He goes, God damn it. No. It's rude to bring people who aren't invited.
You were peeping at me through my window. While I was sleeping, of all things, apparently.
I had to check to see if a blue had infested my lands. Now tell me, Baby Blue,
I hate you.
who are your parents? Speak up!
Coughing while being constricted. You wouldn't know my mother, and I doubt you'd know my father.
Names, Baby Blue! Give me names! As he shakes you.
Like a maraca.
I'm just like, just ready to throw up. I do divulge the name of my parents.
Okay. As you say them, he goes, Never heard of them! Who are they? Which one is the dragon?
The dad. Now can you put me down?
You told me earlier you were out to kill your father. Tell me.
I'm honestly surprised you remembered that.
Tell me, boy.
I hate you.
What is it you wish to do? Do you wish to
Deserted.
conquer? Claim lands? Subjugate races? What is your goal? Don't lie to me, boy.
Well, right about now, I feel like I want to breathe more than anything else.
He loosens his grip just slightly.
Oh, my God. I'm not interested in lands or money's always good, but not greedily. Not out to conquer anything.
Yet you have your kobolds. I saw them. They painted themselves blue.
I am not responsible for what my fan base does.
So, are they yours? Possessions?
No, I just gave them a new home because they were treated horribly.
Make a persuasion check.
I'm telling the truth.
You are.
Hence persuasion.
Hence persuasion.
18.
That's perception.
Oh, so it is. My eyesight's going.
Time to get glasses.
Oh, my, don't say that.
Join the glasses club.
Okay, 15. He looks at you for a moment, goes, fine. He doesn't put you back down in his room. He just puts you back down in the courtyard in the center as he lands there and looks at you. You noticed your element is showing more. I could smell the energy from you.
Beg your pardon?
Your lightning, boy!
I didn't do anything.
Your
with it.
magic. The element that makes you what you are. I can smell it. As he sucks it in, the cold air kind of sucks in with it. It stimulates my senses to
I
attack.
want a restraining order against you pronto.
Be not afraid, Baby Blue.
You
I
say
do
that.
not attack those who have not committed crimes. And you have yet to show any negative influence upon your friends or those who follow you. But
Thank you.
your nature can change in an instant. And I will be watching you carefully. If I find you do anything nefarious or evil, know that the justice of Badum the Brilliant will be upon you.
Baboon, the Brilliant. will be on me.
Bardoon!
Right, that's the name. Okay. Just looks up to the giant gaping hole where my bedroom used to be.
Oh, well, sorry about that.
Mm.
I'm sure your interior designer can fix that.
Yes, just let me message Gok Guan to come over and fix up my room again.
I was referring to Little Red.
What about her?
She said she was an interior decorator.
That she did. Yes. She's very talented. Scatter cushions everywhere.
Then it
Place
shan't
looks
be a
marvelous.
problem. Plus, there's more beds across the keep.
Right. Yep. You are totally correct.
Good. Now, tell me then, Baby Blue.
I'm going to breath weapon you so bad.
Is there anything I can do for you to make up for my sudden intrusion?
There may be one or two things. You could tell me why you were peeping through my window before you decided to ventilate my room.
I already told you. Your blood. It's hard for me to resist it.
Stop. Right, okay. So you were curious. Awkward timing, but still. Also, I was wondering if you could maybe do us a favor. To make up for the hole in my bedroom. Could you take us to where we need to go? We have to go on a journey tomorrow.
Where do you need to go?
Oh, what's the name of the place again? Totally forgot.
Trilak.
Trilak, that's it. Thank you,
Trilak.
disembodied voice.
Trilak.
Yes,
Why do you go to Trilak?
we need to rectify a few things.
What things? Baby Blue, understand this. I will do favors, but only if they are good and just.
Family issues need to be resolved.
Whose family? Yours?
No, not mine.
Hmm.
You would know if my dad was there.
No, I wouldn't.
I think you would.
No, I wouldn't.
I think you would.
I do not dwell in the brass dragon
My dad could beat up your dad.
There it is.
Whoever your dad is, I don't know.
Well, mine is dead.
Well, mine is not yet. Still.
Still,
Yes, we
your
have some...
intentions are true.
Yes, absolutely. 100%.
Fine. Who needs to go?
All of us. Not the kobolds, just me and my friends.
And the dwarves?
No, they're staying here.
So just you, Tiny Tot,
Yes.
Baby Blue, and
I
Itty
am-
Bitty Kitty.
I am baby. I can't believe that you made me say that.
Baby Blue. Aw.
The name of... Yes!
Fine. When do you wish to go?
When we are all awake.
Well, you're awake now. I can wake the rest. It's very simple.
Oh,
Please don't.
Then when?
You- When the sun comes up,
Very well. At
Trust me.
sunrise, I will arrive.
if you wake an interior decorator, they're just the most deadliest creatures on the planet.
I'm curious to see this, then. Maybe I should rouse her right now.
Oh, no.
Phrasing. But please don't. I'm sure she wouldn't appreciate you punching through her bedroom wall.
Fine. Do you want me to put you back on your pile?
Yes.
He picks you up and puts you more carefully through the hole this time, setting you down.
Just glaring at him through the hole in my bedroom now.
Remember, Baby Blue, keep your trove safe. If you don't, you might find it difficult to find peace.
It's not a trove. It's a collection.
Same thing.
No, it isn't.
Keep them close.
Don't say it.
He steps away, and he begins to go to the courtyard and flap up into the sky, and leave
Son of
you
a bitch.
alone with a very noticeable draft coming from the hole in the wall.
Just standing there. My
look at the
room.
view your room has now.
I know, right? Big ass French window. Right there.
So,
Good place for it.
you return to sleep.
Drop it in more often.
Wait, do I return to sleep after that?
Well, before you would even realize, the only way for you to find comfort is to lay on your pile.
Do so.
So you instinctively follow this kind of comfort that comes from the precious metals. And as you reside on there, you all finish the long rest, regaining your spell slots and health, and half your
Did
hit
you-
dice.
Did you say I noticed what happened to me during my sleep, or have I yet
did.
to actually notice this?
You did.
Okay, that is something I have to address.
Talking to yourself about it.
Yeah, I'm self-monologuing at this point.
Okay. So, as morning comes, you all awake, each of you taking your own time to just get ready for the day, donning your armor and clothing, making plans, and getting yourself ready to head down to perhaps get some breakfast. But just as you move along the hallways, maybe greeting a few friend here or there, good morning, there's suddenly a loud, thunderous, good morning from the outside.
I forgot to tell you we have a visitor.
Oh, yes, he makes his presence very well known.
As you feel a vibration hit the ground outside.
I go over, poke my head out. Good morning. And to what do we owe the pleasure?
Good morning, Tiny Tot!
Does Rook notice the hole in the side of the castle where my room used to be?
A Rook's perception check would probably notice that there is a large hole on the end.
So,
of
good
one of
morning. What the hell?
To what do we owe the pleasure? And why is there Varkesh
No, not my fault.
I'm here to escort you!
escort? What?
Ooh.
How? Who? Where?
I asked
Baby
him to
Blue,
take
did
it.
you not tell them?
What the
I-
actual fuck is happening right now?
I just walked down the stairs. I have asked. He came to visit me last night, hence the hole in the wall. And he asked if there's anything he could do to make up for it after our conversation. And I asked, could you take us to the place where we need to go? And he said, more than happy to. Then he flew away.
Okay.
Can I have all you make perception checks for me, please?
Sure.
Sure. Let's see if I
another
roll.
fucking dragon?
No.
20.
Low I
Damn.
rolled this
I
time.
have to use that so much. It's very important.
Smokey and Rook notice that Varkash is slightly different from normal.
Are you... Varkash, have you been working out? You look bigger.
Am I bigger?
Well, your horns are bigger, and your teeth are sharper.
Are you having a growth spurt?
What are you guys talking about? He looks the same.
I do something with my horns once and I don't get noticed. It's great.
Well, no, you obviously did get noticed. Oh, we've determined Valindra has no eye for aesthetics.
She misses haircuts all the time.
You know what? You know what? That's fair.
It serves her very well in her interior decorating career.
Yes.
Well,
It's the
Yeah.
big picture.
Yes.
I mean, something happened last night, hence why he was there. He was apparently spying on me while I was sleeping, and
Uh-huh.
this... Like, how tall are my horns now?
Oh, not more than maybe about 3 inches longer.
That's
Okay.
big.
It's a lot.
3 inches? That's like that.
You forget the one on the end of my nose, too, so that's...
Well, that's not
considerable.
as much as the horns on the side, but I mean, it did slightly. The teeth would
Varkash-
probably be like half an inch.
That's huge!
Yeah.
You are a big boy already. This is not like half an inch from a 6-footer kind of guy, you know? The teeth were already much bigger than normal.
Fair enough, but do continue.
Yeah, this is not like us just suddenly going here with vampire teeth, you know? This is a proportionately appropriate size increase.
So Varkash, he's gonna fly us to Trilak then?
I have no idea how he's going to do
No!
it.
No,
Which
I
is
shall
just-
not fly you! Itty bitty kitty.
So what's your idea of what's happening?
Are
I
you
shall
gonna
teleport
take
you
us
there.
Oh, that would be lovely, but could we perhaps get some time to talk amongst ourselves first?
Sure, I'll wait right here.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
The head gets
Okay.
closer to you watching you talk.
Did you,
Well, it's-
Varkash, what have you told him of what we're going for?
I said we're going back to deal with some much-needed family business.
Right. Well,
Which is not entirely wrong.
yes, I think it's more important that we note that we are clearing our names, which were unjustly sullied.
I'm just like, then look at the guy, just like his big old fucking eye just looming down. Like, do you mind? Private conversation.
Oh! Alright.
Thank you.
He backs away about maybe 10 feet.
Ugh. But that's far enough, I guess. I mean, I didn't really want to say too much. I
Raise your
just
tail
woke
if you
up.
can hear me. And I'm going to watch and see if his tail twitches at all.
Well, he doesn't have a hand, so he just
He
sits
said
there.
raise a tail.
Oh, raise a tail?
Which would be
It
weird.
comes up slightly.
Okay.
Alright. Well,
Does anyone need anything to get done?
just some revisement to what we're going to ask.
Go for it.
I really don't think it's important that we determine how the dragon felt about his subordinates or what they were doing. I really think it's best we just stick to whether or not he attacked the cathedral
Uh-huh.
and a descriptor of those under his charge.
Uh-huh. Okay. What about who ordered to make the attack?
That could be quite useful as well, yes.
Okay.
Depending on how we want to paint this whole situation.
Are we gonna ask him if he attempted to breath weapon my brother?
I don't think that's necessary because if we do that, it would indicate a schism, which would then implicate us in a way, as it would imply that he is on our side in some way if he was attacked by them. Unless, of course, we determine that he just didn't care for his subordinates, which in tandem may be useful.
Okay, what about witnessing the revival?
Witnessing the revival may well be of use, but it would implicate that he had to die first. When, I mean, he would be accusing us of attempting to murder him.
I mean, it's actually kind of true. The only witnesses who actually saw my brother die were the dragon and my sister.
And he did technically die.
Yes,
But they-
thank you, Varkash.
But there's
I'm
no
just saying.
But that's the only evidence of it. You guys saw it. I didn't see it. And he came back really quick. I mean, yes, there's the tongue thing.
Which he got fixed.
But it happened.
And he lived. That was more mercy than we should have given in retrospect.
Well, I have 3 questions right now.
We could also leave the other 2 open for them to ask.
That's also a great way to have information we don't want shared.
Can I just stay here? I think I'm sick.
Being that you're one of the people who was accused.
I've got a cold. I don't want to go do jury duty today.
But you were the one who was asking questions.
There's that too.
Look, can one of you guys just... okay. I don't think this is going to end well for us.
They very rarely do, but we must at least make an attempt.
Why?
Because we still need to move throughout these cities, whether we like it or not.
Yeah.
Why?
I would rather not tax Smokey's spell reserves if we don't need to.
Are you ready now?
Jeez.
Not quite yet. We have 2 more things to hash out. I apologize. Varkesh may have asked you to come a little too early.
I said when the sun comes up.
So we need 2 more questions. 2 more questions, be they inconsequential or useful to us.
Questions for what?
Could we...
We have been unjustly accused of a crime we did not commit, and we're trying to prove our innocence.
A noble cause. What head are you asking? Are you asking the one that was in Baby Blue's room? Baby Blue, you still have to tell me how you got that head.
Wait,
What?
Wait, what?
It was out of the bag of holding?
Why was it out of the bag of holding?
He poured everything out of the bag of holding.
Why did you pour
What?
everything out of the bag of holding?
Listen, I'm not the one on trial here. You 2 are. So leave me out of this.
Our trial doesn't begin for another, I don't know, however long it takes us to get there. Your trial begins right now. What did you do?
I object. Sustained. Plead the 5th.
He was sleeping like a little whelpling on his little pile. It was adorable.
I just throw a piece of whatever at him.
You yeet
Like
some
a
air.
cup. I yeet a cup.
Some air.
Wait, Varkesh, you created like a little
Shut up.
board?
Shut up.
That's
I did-
different.
I did nothing of the sort.
But it's also a petty distraction. We'll talk about it later. We really need to get this hashed out.
What about...
Hash away.
Smokey doesn't know things I know.
Could we ask...
Did your subordinates attempt to kill the bird and the half-elf? That could be useful.
Okay. But technically they didn't.
Yes, they did.
No, my sister only used non-lethal spells, and my...
that could be the same. Could not be said of Arad.
Arad really just tried to escape the whole time.
I suppose.
Could we ask if he intentionally targeted the temple?
That would be useful.
Have we covered the Rook technically struck first with a deadly weapon against Arad?
No, I've been avoiding that one.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
best we avoid that.
Okay, just
The
clarifying.
idea is for us not to go to jail, actually.
Just clarifying.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for that.
Just...
So we have 4 questions.
I mean, yeah, well, if we include the one about the revival, which means that the guy was dead. I mean, do we want to actually admit that Arad died, however briefly or not?
I think it's best we avoid that.
Even if we have the self-defense thing.
even if we have the self-defense thing.
Did you kill someone?
Here we
Yes, I killed someone. I killed someone, and I'm sorry. I'm sorry for trying to protect the people in my life that I actually care about, because I have that now. So yes, I killed someone.
Make a persuasion
Fine.
check.
Make a what?
Persuasion.
Persuasion. What am I persuading him of?
You're persuading a lawful dragon about killing someone.
Your intent.
Okay. He looks at you for goes, Curious. And what do you wish to do to atone for your attempted sin?
Well, first of all, the person's no longer dead. Varkesh actually brought him back to life very soon after they were killed.
Oh, so your crime is very minimal then.
She
Yeah.
made an
I would think so, yes.
mistake. She made a very brief mistake.
And
Do
also,
you feel
just
regret?
Hmm?
Do you feel regretful for the decision you made?
Yep.
Will you change your actions in the future?
Yep.
Are these truths or lies?
These are straight up lies.
Make a deception check.
Oh dear.
This is our practice trial.
It's going
Where we
great, guys.
could get literally frozen to death. Oh god.
Oh, fuck!
Okay.
And you don't have any,
Smokey
All
was.
right.
Smokey's gonna jump in and say, I mean, in her defense, she was trying to stop a blue dragon from, like, actively killing all of us. The person she killed was a blue dragon subordinate.
Blue
And her hand was
dragons, yes. I can understand the vile creatures. But
Thank
still, you should change your outlook on life, little,
know what?
little red.
You're right. Next time I'll just roll over and let them kill me.
No.
That's much better.
Just learn to use non-lethal force.
I don't know what anyone wants from me anymore. I wish I'd never left my goddamn temple, because at least then I was being ignored and nothing was happening to me. I was bored out of my mind, but at least I wasn't infuriated all the time.
Little
I
red,
don't know what anyone wants.
you have a
from
lot
me.
of pent-up anger, don't you?
Yes, I have a lot of pent-up anger.
We should find a way to vent that for you.
Well, apparently killing people's not allowed, so...
Correct! You should try other means. Maybe you should
Knitting,
try to
perhaps.
kill things that are worthy of killing.
what would you
With-
define as worthy of killing?
Blue dragons, they are worthy of killing. Those things
Well,
are
we did
vile.
attempt to kill that one, the one that was also attempting to kill us.
Which you
Take
succeeded
that
since you
away.
have the head, correct?
Oh, it got away.
We succeeded in collaterally.
Still,
In its failure to kill us, it was then killed by its master, I would assume.
one less
No.
blue is good for us all. I'm sorry, baby blue, no offense intended.
I say nothing.
Perhaps you could kill things like that, or even undead creatures. Those could be slain without any problem.
You know, I assure you, we only attempt to kill those that would bring harm upon us as well. You know,
Oh,
so-
self-defense is
doing it.
excellent, yes. If there is no alternative, perhaps.
Exactly. Our hands are forced.
I think our interior decorator makes very good decisions most of the time, and she kills things that need to be killed. So there. So please don't breath weapon us.
Little Red, I advise you. Think carefully next time you act. That is all.
Does he leave?
No.
I mean, he's supposed to teleport us here soon, so
Can we go be put in prison now?
please try to maintain a more positive outlook. I would really rather go into this with some hope.
Well, if you're going to clear your name and to try and bring the true culprits to justice, I will still help you in this. And since your error was very minor, Little Red, I shall not hold it against you this time.
Thanks.
Are you all ready to go now?
Yes.
Smokey, were you able to think of any other questions?
I think so.
All right, mind sharing them with us so that we might be prepared?
30 seconds.
Where
Just
would you like to
clarify-
arrive in Trilak?
Just to clarify, I gathered everything up in my room, including the head, everything, put it back in my bag of holding. Just
Oh,
to
I
clarify.
assumed you would, yes. Where would you wish to go? Where in Trilak?
Where are trials typically held? Can I think back to where that might be?
We know that.
Well, you would know it happens in the new district, which he most likely would not be aware of.
Oh, fantastic. Where was the old, where's the guard post at? Is that old district or new district?
New district.
Damn,
Just
okay.
teleport us just outside of Trilak.
He could.
I mean, it would be better, I think. I mean, we just approach the
That
guard
way a
ship.
dragon doesn't just like fucking zap us into the middle of a city.
Very true.
Okay.
I don't know what our other options are.
It's down to you.
I think you're really expecting us to understand a dynamic that we're not understanding here.
We're not getting something here.
I say that we teleport outside of the city.
Agreed.
Can I make some sort of check to have some inkling of what you're shaking your head at us for? 'Cause this is kind of
Make an
infuriating.
intelligence check.
Yeah.
Can I do one too?
Sure.
Crying out loud.
No. Natural one. Smokey.
I'll go ahead and use my inspiration for this.
Oh, okay.
14 better.
Okay. Sure. With the combined effort, I will tell you this. Bardoom is from a time long, long ago when perhaps the cities themselves were only those that were made by dragons. The dragon city itself only existed in the
underwater.
old district. No, that is Bylok.
okay.
In
Okay.
Trilak, the old district is located on the other side. The new district was created on the opposite end of the bridge. That new district perhaps could be considered, in his mind, outside of the city.
Well, yeah, we'd
Because
say
it was
like
not
to the
developed.
north. We'll say like to the north of the old district.
It's a good
If
clarification.
you don't
to
clarify, you
Yeah.
Yeah, to the north of the old district, so that we're outside the old. We'll point him.
he
tell
could
him
probably
away from the
teleport you to
direction.
one of the lakes.
Yeah,
Sure.
the banks of the
We'll
lake would be
do
best, I
that.
would think.
To the lakes.
Okay.
It's always ended well for us when we've gone to these lakes. So sure, let's do it again.
Well, almost. Actually, no, it's never gone right.
No, it's not.
Okay, either way, I have the questions, guys.
I'm good.
All right, here we go. Number one, to the dragon. Did you destroy the rookery?
I did not.
Well, this is not you, dragon.
Well, the dragon
This
was...
is Dragon Head.
Yes.
Thank you for play acting. But did the elf tiefling and Kenku tiefling hybrids assist you in this task?
No.
3. Describe the name of the and describe and name those who were under your command. And if that doesn't work, we'll rephrase it to make it work. So that should
Perhaps come at it from like a subordinate's point of view, in the first place being that she will be masquerading as one of them, and I assume this dragon was quite prideful.
So how?
So perhaps... Could you please remind me the names and physical descriptions of your subordinates in this endeavor?
Ooh, ooh,
Okay.
ooh.
Yes.
What?
If I'm going to be using her voice, and we ask him to identify the names and descriptions and whatever, one of the questions could be, can you identify the voice that is speaking to you? And then he'll say your sister's name, and then bing, bang, boom. It'll just kind of like lock everything together.
Unfortunately, Arad was the accuser in the first place, and are you able to mimic her voice, or just her appearance?
Well, can't I, if I have minor,
Minor illusion?
yeah.
Yes.
There'll be some checks, I'm sure.
But I'm pretty good at performing.
You can make a sound.
Yeah. Can I make words?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, it can be your voice, someone else's
Someone else's
voice.
voice.
Mhm.
Perfect, yeah.
Yeah, so I could do her voice or I could do a Rod's voice if you think a Rod would have been the one to actually report the
Mm.
crime.
But Hera is way higher up than Arad.
Okay, so I'll use her voice, and then if she's the one that reported to them, then they will have heard her voice, and they will know that all of the accusations against us were fabricated for their benefit.
That went way That was more than I was anticipating. But do you want to hear the rest of my questions?
Sure.
So describe anyone who was under your command. Fourth question: were you actively attacking or trying to subdue the half-breeds and their companions against their will using deadly force? Yes.
That's true. I think that would be very beneficial.
5. Who ordered you to make this attack?
Okay. Can you like send me those
I
questions?
of course will.
Thank you.
Writing them down on a scratch piece of parchment for her to read out.
Yep.
Also in the Discord.
Yay.
With your questions in tow, do you wish to do any other preparations before you head out?
Should we? I guess we shouldn't disguise ourselves.
Not yet. I mean, we could. I mean, we don't know.
We had likely best wait until we get there, unfortunately, and rely upon the benevolence of the court.
Should we let Lulu know we're coming and ask her if the dragon is even there yet, so we don't?
Probably.
Probably.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and do a sending for Lulu.
Okay.
Hey, Lulu.
All right. Please answer these questions. Is the dragon judge present? Where is a good place to meet you beforehand? Any new updates since we last?
That's it.
Yeah.
All right. So the reply comes to you going, darling, yes. So, darling, yes. What was the second question?
Second question, where's a safe place for us to meet you?
I say just stop it, darling. Yes.
I mean, he's done that with Gintrin already.
Darling, yes.
Yes.
It's the
Pompous
most
prick.
informative message so far with those 2 words.
I can meet you outside the city walls. Your third question was...
Any new updates?
Any new updates? Oh, yeah. That's what I was. Nothing new to report, darling. But I look forward to seeing you today.
She's speaking weird.
Yeah, I think she's figured out about the counting word things. I mean, I assume that's why it's still the language. Otherwise, I'll do an insight check to see if like she's captured or something.
Make an insight check.
I'll do it. Come on, Smokey. Be insightful for once.
Come on, Smokey.
3!
Son of a cool.
Lulu as her usual, basically.
Yeah. That was appropriate though, as opposed to all of our other undeserved low rolls. All right, Lulu says the dragon is present. She can meet us outside the walls. So I think we're as good as we're gonna be.
All right. So, just to verify, here's north, here's the old district, here's the new district, and we're going to the northern lake.
Yeah, we could
Right?
just ask him to teleport us.
As you do that, the dragon goes behind you and puts his head next to yours so we can
I
get
do
the...
a minor illusion of the overlay of the city.
Okay.
So
like
the
an
short
aerial
next-
map?
Yeah.
Okay. He looks at it and goes,
wanna-
Curious, what happened here?
Well, you know,
They
zombie
expanded.
invasions.
Expanded indeed. I don't know any of that new stuff.
Well,
Real cool. You should check it out sometime.
I mean, if you look at this, is all the stuff that was there before. So if you just plot us down, maybe outside of the wall here, is that okay?
I can try.
Okay. I try and
Something
assist him?
that is perhaps worthy of note is that there will be other dragons about to. Would you showing up in your general appearance be in some way offensive to them at all?
I will not come in this form. I will shrink down to a humanoid one.
Excellent.
And I shall leave quite promptly after arrival. I will not leave my territory undefended.
Of course.
So you'll be on your own, but you can get back here whenever you need. You have Itty Bitty Kitty.
Yeah.
And he is quite talented.
Rook, do you have anything from your home? Because if we have an object that he can kind of focus on, that would actually really help him in his casting.
Well, I do believe I do. One moment.
Do you have any
I'll
of your ass?
rummage through my backpack a little bit and pull out my little signet ring.
Ah, your baby feathers.
Aw.
Okay.
So I pull out my signet ring.
A signet ring.
It's from my background there.
No, that's fine. That's fine. It's just double checking if that will work because usually it's an
It's
item associated with the
location.
location. Yeah. Like if the signet ring came from a bunch of rings hung on a tree and you got to get one passed down from you, maybe. But
Well, it would have likely been forged there, created and passed down to me as part of the family, and they are based out of that area.
Thinking.
let's see, because associated object says taken from the desired destination within the last 6 months. That's a little older than that.
My belt.
Okay, fair.
We don't know where that's going to take us.
The belt wouldn't really be a good idea.
No,
Let's
not
just-
taken from this place in the last 6 months.
Let's just hope it works.
Multiple places.
Actually,
It kind of came around.
something worthy of note: those manacles we acquired them rather recently.
That's true.
Hmm.
I think that would work.
It just puts us back in the prison again.
I mean, that's quite possible, but
Trial's over.
We encountered those manacles at the lake, so
Did you?
Yep.
Oh, so you did.
it's true.
No, we didn't actually. They dragged us back first, unfortunately.
They put them on at the shore of the lake.
For Valendra, at least.
Right,
They
for
put-
Valendra.
they
Yeah,
put
you
them
were an
on-
urchin.
Well, the
you
ones
didn't
from
matter.
Valendra specifically.
That's another thing I want to do in the city. I want to find Victor. He and I
Okay.
are going to have a chat.
Involving many sharp things?
Oh, yes. I will take out my rage.
So yes,
Maybe-
you will take out your rage on the original Itty Bitty Kitty.
Yes.
Maybe save that for after the trial and after we get far away.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Okay. I swear I've heard you say his names like 3 different ways. But where is it? Bardroom.
Bardoom.
I thought it was
Bard-
Budrum.
Bard.
I've heard ba too, but okay. Bardoom.
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 Okay. These came from the city of Trilak, if it'll help you at all.
Where from?
I mean, they're used by the police force.
Then I could teleport you straight into the police station, as it were.
Nope.
I think it's best we avoid that one.
All right, well, just go ahead and I'll take these back. And go ahead and just do your best. We'll make it work.
Very well. Are you ready then?
Everyone hold hands and do not let go.
Okay.
Alrighty then. Itty Bitty Kitty, Tiny Tot, Baby Blue, and Little Red. Little Fiery Red. Here we go.
Oh, one last thing before we do, just in case. Varkesh,
Oh
can I
boy.
get that necklace? You know, the one with the things inside?
Oh, yeah, the thieves' tools.
Ah, yes, very well. Reach into my bag of holding and take out the fake amulet with the thieves' tools inside.
And I'll put that on, and I will additionally hide my current set of thieves' tools on my person, likely in my boots,
Okay.
as well as I can.
You don't have a boot, but yeah, you can.
In your butt.
Yeah, you have like a leather bracer for a boot, basically,
It'll do well enough.
because you
Stuff it
got
on
you
the
got birdie
bracer.
legs.
I
But
got
yes.
little birdie legs, birdie legs.
But yeah, all right. So he is going to try and teleport. Pray to the gods. Oh fuckity shit! Oh fuckity shit!
Great.
Is that a
Okay.
random location?
Where do we die?
Oh motherfuck.
That's a bad time, is what that is.
Okay, shit.
Does anyone have an inspiration to give him?
It won't work. It's not a 20.
TM.
Oh fuckity fuckity fuck. Okay.
Where are we going?
And they were never seen again.
The chopping block straight
Guys.
there.
Oh shit. Okay. All right. So first off, you all take 24 points of force damage.
Oh, that sucks tits.
Uh, You also will.
It's very high.
I will reroll on the table to see where you wind up.
Would that be affected? No, never mind. I answered my own question.
Okay. Oh gosh. Hold on.
Fucking safe to walk.
Barkas just couldn't use.
Yeah,
that
I just have to
slot.
roll it again. All right. It just got a little bit too oopsie daisies. All right. Here he goes. Okay, 21. Still not doing the best.
Is he familiar at all with the lakeshore?
Okay. All right. Okay. All right. So.
Oh, you were fucking magic.
The first impact as you get teleported in just kind of tries to shift, and there's like a tumbling motion as you all just kind of feel this terrible compression as you're being pulled two different ways. Eventually, what happens is as you suddenly emerge, you all roll from the sides as you have this rolling motion as you appear on the far north side of the lakes.
Yay.
Ow.
Oh. Oh, that was painful.
That usually doesn't happen. My bad.
Performance anxiety.
Okay, well, you got us very, very far. We appreciate your effort, Bardoom. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, and I hope to see you again before the day is out with any luck back at our keep.
Very well. I will nurse my headache.
Yeah.
Your headache.
The safe travels back.
Best of luck to you all, as he tries once more to teleport back to where he was.
I think he's an
Oh,
auto.
buggity fuckity mother.
He doesn't have an auto thing?
Well,
I mean, there's no circle, but
he
depending on
doesn't
his
have an
element,
associated
he's very
object.
familiar.
Okay, thank God he's off target, so he's fine. So
fly.
he disappears.
Wow.
You feel that perhaps maybe when your grandpappy was telling you that they called him the buffoon, might be a bit accurate. Oh, that was so unfortunate, but
Mm.
All right. So at this point, guys, I don't want to cast. I think it'll look terrible if you show up looking like my sister, Valindra.
Yeah, I mean,
agree.
I would say we would do that in their presence.
I think
So
it's best we present ourselves preferably without weapons on our persons.
Okay.
At least
I can
not
see that.
obvious weapons on our persons.
So are you guys just going to turn yourselves in right from the get?
Well, we should likely meet with Lulu first, preferably.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure me and Varkesh are under suspicion, considering that as soon as we showed up, first of all, I'm pretty sure they read our minds to find out where you were, which is how they got you. And so that's implication, but also as soon as you guys got broken out, we also disappeared from the city, which looks really bad.
Right, so perhaps step one we go under a seeming guise to meet with Lulu. From there we ditch our weapons somehow, likely just toss it in the bag, I think would be our best option. And then drop seeming and present ourselves to the guard.
All four of us, or just you two?
Do you intend to come along for the trial?
I don't know how we could not be let in if we aren't ourselves.
Well, the important thing here is that we do need someone who can transform Valindra to appear as similar to your sister.
Okay, so we'll do seeming, talk to Lulu, get lay of land, maybe see if public can be admitted into these trials or not, and go from there.
Well, you are under suspicion. The fact of the matter is our testimony does hinge on this. We'll have to convince them to allow it in the first place, and if we can convince them to allow it in the first place, I think they'd be okay with you being there to provide it as well. Or, even if they have someone there who could cast it for us, if Valindra can make a accurate enough minor illusion of your sister, that may work too.
It's a dragon. I mean, I don't know how rough its eyes are, but they're pretty good at noticing things. But, okay, Smoker's going to cast Seeming.
As well, I think a dragon's corpse wouldn't really be too overly concerned with that sort of thing.
all right. You cast seeming on your 4 allies. Do you wish to change the appearance of everyone or just your 2?
Everyone.
All right. What do you pick?
I look like Laura Bailey.
Sure, human.
With glasses.
Yep.
And a big pink bag that jiggles.
We're all gonna be humans.
Okay.
With Varkesh being, we'll make him a.
Steve Bloom.
Blue dragon.
Dragonborns are too conspicuous. We'll make you a good Goliath.
Okay.
Fair enough.
Funny enough, for poor Varkesh, this is going to be an issue, but go on.
Why?
Because your horns and just.
There's another appendage, but go on.
Yeah.
Tail.
Anyway, we start walking around the lake.
Okay. So walking around the lake will take you some time. It takes you about, you would assume, 3 hours to reach the other side if you
Wait,
walk.
we
Would
have
it be
water
faster to
breathing.
walk under?
Yeah, we have water breathing. We
It
just
would
walk
certainly
through
be
it.
faster to cut the straight line, yes.
Yep, we'll do that.
Okay. As you, of course, prepare everyone with the walking water spell every morning, water breathing, you instead cut across down the water. Up. Yep.
No, I was just going to say I could cast water walk.
We may need the spells though.
No, it's a ritual too.
Oh well, then yeah, sure.
How long does it last, though?
An hour.
Okay, that should be sufficient, I would think.
Okay, do you wish to use this as a ritual?
Indeed, a ritual.
All right. So, taking 10 minutes, Varkesh allows you to have the ability to now walk across the surface as you Jesus your way across the water. It takes you now instead only an hour. You eventually arrive to the other side of the wall, on the northern side of, which would you prefer, the old or new district?
Lulu said she'd meet us outside the wall. Do we see any sign of her?
Not from the lake.
I would think we'd probably want to go towards the new district, since that's where most of the humanoid-sized things are.
Okay, so you travel towards the new district, heading towards the northern wall that's closest to the lakes. As you reach the banks, you once again emerge the tall wall in front of you. There's no one that's really on this side. There doesn't really seem to be an entrance or any means to try and enter the city from here. You get the sense to go in, you'd have to come through the front.
Okay. Lulu said, should we just make a circuit around and see if we see Lulu?
Yeah.
I think it's best that we do that, yes.
Okay. Why don't you have Winnie go the other way, and maybe he'll run to Lulu too.
Okay.
All right.
Well,
All right, so you guys are heading to the front?
Yeah, we're
Okay.
doing a bisection.
All right.
I'll have Valindra on my shoulders so she's guided.
Sure. It doesn't take you too long, eventually, as the main party, making their way to the front entrance, do spot Lulu. She is currently stationed outside the wall, closer to the location that you camped that one time out the front. She figured it to be a location that you might converge with since you didn't specify. But she is there, and as you approach, she doesn't see you as who you are, and just sees 4 humans walking to her, but she is a little curious, knowing perhaps that maybe these 4 might match up with the 4 she's expecting to see. Sadly, there's no Winnie to help give you away, so she's just very curious.
well, as soon as I see her, I'm gonna poof Winnie back to me and then poof him back into existence.
Oh, okay, well, as you poof Winnie, she'll just go, "Darlings!"
Yeah.
Hello, Lulu.
Hello, darling. That must be Rook, then, yes. And the
Yes.
big one must be Varkesh, and which one of you... Oh, well, obviously, Smokey and Valindra, of course. The boy and girl. Tell me,
Yeah.
darlings, why on earth did you think that you could do this to me? My heart can barely take the stress you've laid upon my shoulders. I have to deal with so much because of you. I feel I might have some compensation coming my way.
I mean, I did offer to take you with us.
No, darling, no. I was here to stand by you as your best agent, of course, and I wouldn't dream of doing anything less, but perhaps maybe some small percentage of share comes my way next time there's a contract.
Could we talk about this maybe when more vital things are not?
Yes, I think step 1 would be to clear our names so that we can take these
Well,
contracts.
yes, darling, of course. Shall we? Shall we walk and talk as we head in?
Sure. So,
Excellent.
so you said the dragon's present.
Yes, you did draw attention, didn't you? Your crimes were capital offenses and were drawn basically towards Alniel. Alniel then, of course, sent their emissary. They sent someone from House Lien, I believe.
Damn
Well,
it.
that's interesting. The one host that we don't have any interaction with as of yet.
I do believe that's the reason why, darlings. I believe TL tried to propose that perhaps Durel would not be fair in its litigation. And they, of course, not wishing to have any bias, suggested that Lien take the trial. And they have sent a judge, as it were, towards the Trilac. And they have arrived. But of course, you would know this, I'm sure, Rook. Familiar to the city's laws, I assume.
Oh, yes, of course.
Yes, good, darling. Now, of course, they have been waiting to see what might occur since the two suspects disappeared one night. They weren't quite sure where you went. But of course, you have also driven some more, how should I say, vile bounty hunters who have been looking for you. Now, luckily, darlings, you have been what appears to be completely off the maps. No one has been able to scry your location all of yesterday. Luckily for you. But, darlings, right now, currently, you are out in the open, and I do believe you don't have any means to protect yourselves. We best hurry to go to the courthouse immediately before one of them tries to intercept you on the way here.
Great. And out of curiosity, Lulu, for these trials, are they open to the public, or are they,
Well, darling, I'd assume we'd want to go to council chambers, perhaps, and try to resolve this without having to go to trial. I'd rather have our reputations be kept clean, you know.
If that is an option, that would be ideal.
It should
Will they
be.
allow...
Quick question, Lily. Will the dragon representative be in the chambers? if we were to-
Indeed, darling. They will be the ones to judge your evidence.
Okay.
And we have a couple of things that could be quite useful for us, as far as that goes. The primary concern here is that a lot of our evidence does hinge upon Smokey here being allowed to perform a disguise magic upon Valindra.
Interesting, darling. Ah, is this because of her skill? I remember her using it once.
Yes, we've acquired the head of the dragon who was responsible for the attack on the,
Yes, you were successful in
Recording.
acquiring it. Excellent, darlings. I had my fullest faith in you. Now,
That was our goal for yesterday, and we achieved it.
yes, brilliant, brilliant. Now, of course, since you have the head in tow, we can take this directly to the council, and I'm sure they'll be quite eager to see this blue dragon coming into their territory. They don't like that as much as you might assume.
Of course. And you have an excellent way with words about you. We have some ideas as to what we may wish to ask it. Perhaps you could give us some feedback?
Ask the head, darling.
Yes.
Well, what do you wish to ask the head?
We have a number of ideas thought up. First and foremost, obviously, I think it the best that we ask it if it destroyed the rookery, since it very much so did.
As you do convey those, and the questions you already had planned, she does nod in agreement. Those all do sound brilliant, darling. I can't think of anything else besides those to ask. As long as you can keep yourselves, above water, I'm sure you'll be fine. But remember, darlings, you are going into the council chambers of the Brass Dragon territory, and one does know that the Brass Dragons have a tendency to try and lure those with lesser minds to be more honest with their, testimonies. So I advise you to steel yourselves. Make sure you do not succumb to their charms.
Of course. The only thing is they are magically inclined in these matters, and how would we even protect ourselves against that?
Well, darling, there are some magics that will allow you to have some protection against such effects, but I'm not necessarily able to use them myself. Perhaps your friend Smokey, do you know anything?
I mean, the one that comes to mind is one of our Kesh's spells, actually, that gives you advantage on wisdom saving throws, Beacon of Hope, but that only lasts for a minute. Non-detection, I don't think would help in this. It does not. That's only divination. I don't have mind blank, which possibly would work. I don't think anything. I can dispel after they cast if someone tries to charm them, but that's probably not advised.
I don't think that would go well at all.
Well, I do have an out. A trump card, as it were.
So
Really,
what might that
darling?
be?
I'd rather keep it secret until the moment.
Considering the nature of their abilities, that may be wise.
All right.
Very well, darlings. But we should make haste, of course, all the way towards the courthouse. Follow me,
Yeah.
darlings, follow me.
We're going.
She leads you inside, past the guards. You can see that she does give a bit of a coy wink to one as he nods, realizing that he was to expect her to arrive back with friends. Not really allowing you to have to worry about being checked, in a sense. But
There's
as you
one
make...
more thing.
Yes.
Sorry. For the people who actually levied the charges, are they going to be present?
Are you asking Lulu?
Yeah.
Darling, I doubt it. Considering you'll be entering chambers unannounced and without an appointment, there wouldn't be any means for them to be there.
I suppose. Okay. Just wondering if they were hanging around or something.
Well, I'm not entirely sure, darling.
Okay.
As you walk in, Varkesh, I need you to make a dexterity saving throw.
Yeah. What?
Tail.
For your tail.
Oh. Okay. 8?
Okay, so as you are walking along, occasionally, Rook would notice this very easily with his keen perception. As you make your way along, people behind your party suddenly go, whoop, and you hear a few people falling into dirt and tripping on things that they didn't expect were there, looking around to see what on earth was going on, unsure of what was that sudden bump in the road that they couldn't see.
I remain nonchalant about the entire situation.
So as you make your way down the street, occasionally, every few minutes or so, there's a oh, what the hell? Better watch where you're going! Ah! As a woman might fall occasionally here and there. But
I'll lean over to Varkesh and whisper, perhaps grab onto your tail?
And do you suppose I do that without looking like a tit?
Oh, if you just walk with, like, your hands clenched just in general, it may look a little bit like you're pissed off, but it won't be hitting people as we walk.
Walking like I'm pissed off. Okay. I'll give that a shot. So
It's
subtly,
better than
I'll
nothing.
swing my tail round, trying to avoid the party and anyone else behind me, and I will just end up holding.
all right, you get the sense that what happens is that for you to curve the tail, it's more of like him gripping on one side. So he's walking with this very bizarre one hand, kind of doing this.
I've changed my mind, that isn't working at all.
Really?
We can't do anything.
It was worth a try, but it's no good.
But you do make your way down to the courthouse with a few bumps and bruises of the denizens behind you as they pick themselves up from the sudden invisible trip hazard.
Well, they didn't see it, so whatever.
But luckily, you make your way inside. As you enter the courthouse, you can see that this place is a large, well-built establishment used for prestige and honor to uphold law. It has that imposing, dominant height to it, as marble pillars do appear on the front, but behind it there appears to be what looks to be almost kind of like two hallways entering left and right that seem to present itself as basically the main interior of the building, while inside the center is an open, sunlit courtyard where you can see people move about and go around the business. As you make your way in, you go off to the side to the left building. This one seems to be more of the office, whereas you can see all the way to the back, at the very end, there looks to be what could be an amphitheater of sorts, where a trial would be held, where audience members would rise around it to watch and see what justice could be delivered to those in Trilak. But making your way to the private chambers inside, moving about, trying again to not bump into too many things, Varkesh, considering your horns are a little bit larger than before. Make a dexterity check for me, please.
Oh, Lord.
Gotta get used to it.
Check.
Gotta squat through those doorways.
So there's a lot of moments where, as he moves through, there's a bit of a... he pauses. No one can see anything, but there's just like a... It's a bit awkward, but there are some moments where he headbangs, and it's a bit odd to see this kind of Goliath head just stop as there's like a
While my body continues.
very bizarre reason to squat, as like maybe he gives himself an extra 2 feet in ducking power when he enters a room. But you do come inside what appears to be an antechamber, and in there, Lulu walks up to a person behind the desk going, "Excuse me, darling." "Yes, hello. How do you do? I need to speak with the magistrate immediately, if you don't mind." And she does this little flick, and you can see she's doing something magical.
Do I know what it is?
Make an Arcana check.
This will go well for me. Boop.
18?
Oh, that did go well for me.
It looks like she's doing a charm person.
Yeah.
Sweet.
And the person behind the desk doesn't seem to mind, as they nod and smile a little bit, going, "Sure, right ahead, go on in, there you go, I'll help you out." And as he opens the door, goes, "Magistrate, you have visitors." as the door is open, and you can see what appears to be a very tall-looking individual inside. Pale blonde hair, skin almost coppery orange in color. As you look and enter, there's a female inside, but she looks to be elongated, like an elf, regal, with markings and tattoos all across her body. They seem to have sigils and resemblance to... What languages do you all know? I think Valindra knows all written languages when she sees them.
I do know all written
All right.
languages.
You can see that what appears to be around her are runes that indicate law, justice, balance, truth. Each of these kind of are almost kind of like a uniform that they're wearing to really resemble what it means to be a magistrate. And as you enter inside, she looks down at all of you and goes, I do not remember having an appointment with either of you. What are you doing here?
Well, I'll close the door.
Are we actually allowed in, or is she coming out?
Oh,
to
yes,
you?
you come in. She stands at you all walking inside.
I'll close the door. I think mostly we're just wanting a chance to set the record straight.
Who are you?
Sharon?
Don't look at Smokey.
Eyes wide.
I do it on Valindra and Rook only.
Can you pick the single target?
You know what? Probably not. I just drop it.
Okay. Everyone appears as she widens eyes and goes, well,
I'm gonna put my hands up so that she can see I'm not doing anything.
I do the same.
this is a surprise. The criminals come to the courts.
The accused and the falsely accused.
We had to search out a very pertinent witness in order to make our case. Well, their case.
If you would allow us to remove it from the bag.
She is curious, and she will nod carefully to watch you, but you do notice that her hands are clenching the wood of the desk, and she seems to be on edge, ready to maybe pounce or attack should any funny business go on.
Okay, Barkesh, if you could slowly remove the head of the blue dragon.
Certainly. I will reach in. I will finger and thumb at first, it's no funny business, and then just slowly ease the head out of the bag.
Well, for you, it's been more of like a...
Yeah, I did the whole acting of the gingerly part, didn't like the whole...
If you've ever had that thing where something just fits too perfectly into a case, it's just kind of like a...
Gotta deal with the vacuum of it coming out.
But it does eventually come out.
And secondly, is there any other tabletops near me?
Nope, just the desk in front of her.
Okay. Well, I ask her, would you just prefer me to hold this, or do you just want me to stick it on the desk?
Her other hand goes straight to her nose. Put it on the ground.
Okay, I'll just stick it on the ground. And then as I do, I reach in my bag of holding and I place an item on the desk. It's one of the gemmed, jeweled, precious metalled figurines that I just leave there and just totally forget about it for the moment and just place the dragon's head down on the ground.
She looks at both and is a little confused, but she looks at you. You brought me the head of a blue dragon.
Prestidigitation, I'm giving her nice aromas.
Nice smells.
Well, I appreciate your attempt to mask the odor. Tell me, why did you bring me a decapitated blue dragon head?
This is the creature that is actually responsible for the acts of terrorism against the city of Trilak.
This is...
Yes. And
Yes, it is.
And how do you propose to provide this as evidence?
I do have an ability to allow him to answer 5 questions. If you would allow me to cast a spell in your presence.
You're a cleric.
She's a follower of the Ebon Empress.
I am.
Curious, there are very few who would dare touch the Ebon Empress. The Dark Lady favors few.
Well, I'm quite an unusual person.
Yes, no, the only issue is, of course, that while she can compel it to speak, it will only speak as it would with someone of the appearance that it sees before it. Being that it was adversarial to us, it may not answer our questions truthfully. So,
Oop.
if we may...
Connor!
no.
How do we need you?
Well, a pause waiting for Connor to return.
You can keep going.
Okay. So, if you would, we would like to also cast another spell in your presence to allow Valindra here to take on the appearance of one more amenable to it.
We also believe that this person is responsible for reporting the false accusations against us to your court. As they were working together, he will respond better to her image and voice.
Very well. Tell me, if you wish to use this, how trustworthy are you? How can I believe the words of someone who has been suspected of these crimes?
Well, if you feel it necessary, we will gladly submit to a Zone of Truth spell. Alternatively, you could take the evidence of our presence here willingly into consideration.
She looks at you, Rook, specifically. Make a wisdom saving throw.
Oh dear.
Oh boy. We'll see how this goes.
Hopefully
Answer's
good.
likely to be very poorly. 15.
Alright.
Still probably
You succumb to the charm person spell.
about what I expected.
So she looks at you and goes, So then, little Kenku, tell me, if you are honest in this, you wouldn't mind if I asked you some questions?
No, of course not. Why would I?
If you are not responsible, tell me who is. I will listen to the dragon's words, but tell me your story.
Well, the ones who are responsible for the attack on the rookery are, of course, Arad. What was Smokey's last name? I don't remember off the top of my head.
Cindertongue.
Cindertongue, the dragon there, and I believe what was the sister's name? Arad's elder sister, whose name escapes me at this
Bahira.
time.
Bagheera.
Bahira.
But yeah. She looks at you.
Jungle Book.
Curious. Those are the ones who laid the crimes upon your feet. And
Well,
you
of
claim
course,
that
if
they
they're
are the
trying-
ones responsible.
But of course, if they're trying to cover their tracks in this instance, they need a scapegoat. Well, you seem a reasonable sort. Surely you can see that.
Indeed. And you, Elf, is this also true? Make a wisdom
Yes.
saving throw.
Yay! Yay! I'm super wise. Oh, that's
Hey, pretty wise.
You pass.
Pretty damn wise.
You are not overcome by the charm spell.
Cool.
And as you don't have the Fey ancestry, do you, as a thing? All right, it's okay. But you don't need it. She looks at you though.
Yes, it is true. We actually encountered these people once before. They have attacked us on numerous occasions. And they attacked us within your city.
And so they just wish to get even with you?
They wish to give us harm.
I don't think it's a matter of getting even. They attacked us first in the first place, back upon our first meeting.
And you, Dragonborn.
Just before she does anything, before she starts casting a mojo, I just very subtly say Rosette under my voice, and then let her do whatever the fuck she wants.
Gonna turn on the little mechanic.
I'm gonna turn on the little.
What is the
Why? Why are you doing?
what is the little figurine?
It is a snow leopard, a pure, pristine silver snow leopard with
I love it.
with dark garnets and diamonds encrusting it, and it just springs to life and starts playing around the table.
Okay. As it starts moving about and coming to life, she looks at you and goes, and looks down at it.
Sorry, it's just I get stressed. That this my stress mechanism makes, you know.
She looks at you narrowly for a moment. I've heard of you.
Hi.
You were the one responsible for not only coaxing House Durrell in the contest for the trinkets you have here. Scott, turn off your camera real quick.
Sorry. Take out what?
Turn off your camera real quick.
Turn off your camera and then turn it back on.
Oh, okay. Shit. Okay.
Dude,
Perfect. All right.
Okay.
Yep.
It was
So,
rather sudden. I was like, what did I do?
yeah. So she looks. I am familiar with your skills in creating these trinkets.
I gently take out another figurine and place it on the table. Then say what I was saying.
Do you wish to bribe an official?
Stress
No.
mechanism. It's a stress mechanism.
No, he doesn't. He's yeah. He doesn't mean to. No.
As I said, it's a stress mechanism.
You may put your toys back into your bag.
You sure?
She's sure, Varkesh.
Because
They don't make you feel happy.
this is
I am
horribly
intrigued.
embarrassing.
But at the same time, I will hold to my appointed position and will
Very
not
well.
be coerced by such
I
small
open my bag
things.
of holding and I just give a little whistle. And let her watch them both too cutely jump in the bag of holding.
Her eyes do follow them intently as she watches.
Varkesh, were the face tattoos too subtle for you?
I just think she's very artistic.
As she looks down, tell me then, is this story true? Wisdom saving throw from Best Blue.
Oh, that's happening. Okay. Wisdom save. 18.
You pass.
Stress mechanism.
Is it true? Does your friend speak in honest?
My friends are incredibly honest and trustworthy people.
And for you, Tabaxi, tell me.
What? I have a nosebleed.
Sorry, Smokey, here's what you missed. We told her that they attacked us
Yep.
and that you're...
Have we done the head?
Not yet.
We have not... She wanted to talk to us before we talked to the head.
Sure. Okay. So they attacked us. We self-defense.
So to be a bit more clear on that, she asked us if who we accused of being the attackers. We blamed those two on the dragon. Additionally, she asked why they were attacking us. We said that, why they were attacking us in this instance, and we said that it was in retaliation for previous meetings with them whereupon they had attacked us. And additionally, they were attacking us in this case too.
Okay.
And I think that mostly covers it.
Yeah, that's it, pretty much.
Fucking hope so.
Anything to add, AJ?
No, that was basically it. And then she looks at you and says, and tell me, Tabaxi, is this true? Wisdom saving throw from you.
Of course.
Don't answer now, just in case you fail. Oh dear.
You fail.
Nah.
So you and I are charmed.
Yeah, it happened like they said.
So it was just sheer revenge or spite.
Is that directed to anyone in particular?
For anyone who wishes to answer.
Well, we are not charmed, so you two. It's fine.
It was a mission of revenge. They wish us harm.
Now, the one thing I ask you all, some of the charges they have laid before you, I would like your answer first. Did you cut out the tongue of said individual?
As a means to preserve his life, but prevent him from doing us any more harm, yes.
Is this true? She looks at Rook and Smokey.
I did not personally witness it, but he was attacking us at the time, and that seems a reasonable means to assure our safety.
My companion actually did say, she said what she would do before she did it and offered the dragon.
Guys, she's asking if we cut out his tongue, not if we killed him.
Yeah,
I know.
Okay.
Yeah. You also did say that I'm going to cut out his tongue.
Oh no, I said I was going to kill him with the dragon and stuff. We cut out his tongue after we knocked him out the first time.
I can't lie then. So, yes.
And were you responsible for plunging a dagger into his heart?
After giving his companions an opportunity to stand down twice.
So you held him as a
Yes.
hostage?
Well, just quick correction, DM. This is she didn't stab him in the heart. She slit his throat.
Yeah.
If that helps.
You
I don't think
killed
it's going to
him.
save me at all.
Yes. So,
Yeah, Yes, but the action in killing him is mine alone. None of the other party members were involved.
Then, more to the point of the matter, it was in an effort to prevent more bloodshed. I think you have reasonable swords.
Then you must
Wasn't
tell
that
me.
be preferable?
Then tell me, who saved his life? The last account that they claimed under the Circle of Truth that we interrogated them was a half-orc individual. Who was this?
No, of course not. It was Varkeshir. I witnessed him cast the magic myself.
It's true. To protect ourselves, we do tend to disguise ourselves using illusionary magic.
May I say something, Your Honor, Lady Not Impressiveness?
Magistrate is fine.
That too. In my friend's defense, seeing as I am a healer of sorts, he technically didn't die. To die would mean that his heart would have had to stop. I brought him back before his heart could stop.
So you claim to have nullified his threat.
I healed the more or less superficial wound that my friend very well acted upon in terms of trying to preserve our life.
Using our own resources and without any prompting.
It was quite expensive.
It is a very complicated crime that we are dealing with. Let us talk to your other evidence, shall we?
Certainly. May we cast that disguise now?
Please do.
Smokey?
Okay. I cast Seeming on Valindra.
Okay. Valindra, you look like Bahira.
So disgusting. Alright. I will cast...
And perhaps we should stand out of its line of view.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes, if you don't mind. I'm going to angle the head towards a corner where it can see just me.
Okay.
And then I'm going to... Sorry. Don't get blood on your shoes there. Gonna cast Speak with Dead.
Okay.
And then I'll use Minor Illusion to make my voice sound like hers as I ask the questions.
All right. Familiar with the spell, this time when you embody the cast, you see that instead of it coming out of Valindra's mouth and eyes, it instead just emanates from the ring on her hand as it glows almost like a black light. And you can see it snake towards the creature as it jitters and corrects itself so that its jaw can now answer properly.
Neat.
Cool. Alright. First question.
I will message really quickly, Valindra. Make the questions as subservient as you can sounding.
Okay. I will say, my lord, were you successful in destroying the rookery?
Of course.
Okay. This one. Okay. And the half-breeds that we encountered, were you trying to subdue them or attempting to take them with deadly force, my lord?
That's not.
That's one of the questions later on the line.
Yeah.
We told
She's
you
lying.
that you had failed enough, that all that remained was to eliminate them and snuff out their life.
Okay. God. These are so hard to ask as, like, subservient questions. Jeez. Okay, the elf tiefling girl and the Kinku tiefling half-breed, did they assist you in the destruction of the rookery?
You stupid thing. No, of course they didn't.
My apologies for my ignorance, my lord, but could you please describe and name those who were under your command and assisted you in this attack.
You, of course. Your brother, Arad. And the guards sent with us. I didn't bother to memorize their puny names.
A just decision, my liege. And could you please speak the name of the one who ordered this attack in the first place, my lord?
He looks... Susarain.
5.
And as that happens, the black energy just dulls. It does not return to the ring.
Where does it go?
It just fades down. It's a very different spell from what you have recalled from before.
Oh,
Make an
no.
Arcana check for me.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Can I do one too?
You can make it with disadvantage.
Oh, no.
Why are you... This is interesting. Why are you freaking out?
16. All right. Smokey might begin to put the pieces together first, but then Valindra starts to realize it as well. You recognize that when the spell was cast initially, it just seemed to give the head some animation, allowing it to return, almost kind of like an echo of itself. Nothing that was really part of it. However, when Valindra used the rod, it seemed to call back the soul. And when the soul returned, it responded differently. And when it returned from the head into Valindra, it seemed to steal the soul. Every time the rod was used, every soul, every individual, was sucked into the rod and sent somewhere. This time, you did not absorb a soul.
So basically we were feeding the Lich prior, and now we're not. Great.
And as this happens, as the final one wanes and you look down at yourself satisfied, the door behind you bursts open. As you can see, tumbling from there, a small, half-sized kitten-looking creature. As Victor comes and goes, I heard there was problem! You! As he looks at all of you, realizing that he has been able to track you down with some means to find the culprits as he was bounty hunting those who escaped. And that is where we're going to end it for tonight, as you have Victor barging in for you all to now have a little bit of some interesting conversations with him.
Sorry, Cat, no bounty for you.
No second bounty. He actually probably already got the first one.
Yeah, that's true.
As you now have Victor joining you for the next time.
Can I
Fuck
kick him
Victor.
out of the door?
Is Kyle going to join us?
Is Kyle gonna be here next game?
If he wants to, Kyle can be here.
Oh my god!
Oh boy.
Oh my god! Good, I'll get to shit on his character in person.
But yes, good job, everyone. You got the head. You retrieved it. Learn. Oh, thank you for the follow, by the way,
Oh,
Wolfie.
thanks for the follow.
Thank you.
But you did learn some interesting things, as well as slightly cleared your name, but you might still have to answer a few questions, as the charm effect does still influence Rook and Smokey.
Yep.
Luckily for you, there was an interruption, which might perhaps run down the clock for the spell. But we shall see what happens next week as we come back here again at 6:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time for us to come into Ages Past. Now, thank you all for joining us, and I hope you enjoyed your time here. And remember, the more you spend with us, the more total tabletop points you are accumulating, which you can use to purchase inspiration points. They used them before, they needed some more. Perhaps you'll help them out next time. But from us here, thank you so much, and we'll see you again next week. Bye, guys.
Have a good week, guys.
Let's say Victor's the big bad.